News, KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. President Trump will meet with oil refiners and distributors tomorrow at the White House to discuss expansion of U.S. oil refining as part of efforts to lower gasoline prices. That from a White House official. Update on high beef prices from ABC's Allison Cossack.
The Trump administration is expected to announce new rules this week to make it easier for cattle ranchers to process their own meat and sell directly to consumers without USDA inspections. Some producers say cutting red tape could help. Others are pushing back. The South Dakota Cattlemen's Association saying food safety is not red tape. 2 people are dead, over a dozen others missing in the Grand Canyon flooding. There's no cell service in parts of the canyon, delaying word from survivors that they're okay. Hundreds of families in Nepal and abroad wait for news of their loved ones missing in the Nepal-Tibet flood disaster. Thousands are missing. This is ABC News. President Trump now working to appeal to business owners in the North as the trade war with Canada continues. ABC's Allison Cossack. Trump calling for Canadian companies that are doing business with America to move to the U.S. immediately, saying many of them moved out years ago due to stupid U.S. leadership. Trump promising no tariffs if they move back.
A shocking first-round exit in the U.S. Open this weekend as Serbian superstar Novak Djokovic flamed out in the first round Sunday, losing to Mariano Navone in a nearly 5-hour-long 5 sets. ESPN commentator John McEnroe.
Unfortunately, all great things do eventually come to an end. And yes, here's another cliche. Father Time is undefeated, and it did finally catch up. He got sick a couple times. It looked like he may have cramped. The back was bothering him. It all went south in the end.
It was the first time the Serbian left after the first round. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
State workers are striking today. More on that straight ahead. But first, we'll get a check on your traffic brought to you by your Seattle Mariners. South 5 heading into Seattle. It's off and on slowing between Northgate and downtown. Just a 20-minute trip, though, from Linwood to Seattle. North 5 slows from the West Seattle Bridge to I-90. Another thick, brief backup there at 520. Over to Renton, South 405 at Sunset Boulevard. Work is blocking the right lane of the off-ramp, but this has drivers stacking up into that right lane on 405 approaching the off-ramp. In Monroe, eastbound 2, we've got a 2-mile backup heading into downtown. Tacoma to Olympia is at 40 minutes. You've got off and on slowing between Lacey and Olympia. This report brought to you by your Seattle Mariners, and don't miss out on Fireworks Nights presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Sing-Along Show, September 4th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks.
KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Connors. Frustrated workers are walking out at Harborview Medical Center. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery has the latest on contract negotiations. Jillian?
Nate, WFSME 3488 is one of dozens of locals representing state employees across the state. They're all walking out today. They say they're renegotiating their contract for 2027 to 2029 and have been met with 0% cost of living raises over both of those 2 years. They say it's untenable. The governor's office tells me they're in a state budget crisis and they have to cut somewhere, but the head of the local union says,
I get that they're under pressure, but the thing is, if every person in management took a holiday at the exact same time, this place would still run fine. If all of the frontline workers took a break for a month at the same time, you would be left with nothing, dying people.
I've heard from workers who say they're living paycheck to paycheck already, and inflation has caused their own kind of budget crisis. They do say they're going to have more action here at Harborview and other places like Bellevue College, where state workers are also walking out. They do say a strike is on the table, but nowhere in sight at this point. Live in Seattle, Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Jillian. Students in the Bethel School District are walking into a brand new high school today. Principal Christy Rodriguez tells KIRO 7 TV.
So we have a state-of-the-art facility compared to what we've had in our last building. So I'm so excited for our students and the community that will be here in this space.
The long-awaited new Bethel High School in Graham replaces the aging campus that opened in 1952. The new 2-story school features updated STEM labs, career and technical education space, a performing arts center, and room for up to 1,800 students. District leaders say the project was nearly 2 decades in the making. As wildfires continue to impact communities across Washington, Airbnb.org says it's offering free temporary housing to evacuees and fire survivors. The nonprofit is partnering with Washington 211 to place qualifying residents in short-term rentals at no cost. Airbnb.org says it's provided nearly 17,000 nights of emergency housing in Washington since 2020 and is now expanding that effort during this year's wildfire crisis. While multiple fires are burning near Snoqualmie Pass, KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas reports.
The Three Queens, King, and Goat fires, which have grown to more than 11,000 acres combined. The Three Queens, that's the largest, more than 8,500 acres, only 5% contained. The other two at 0% containment.
And now your KIRO News Radio weather. Partly cloudy this afternoon, a high of 74. Tomorrow, a cooling trend kicks in for a couple days. Mostly cloudy, 72 Tuesday, 66 and stormy Wednesday with windy and rainy conditions. Thursday brings isolated thunderstorms and 65, and then partly sunny and 69 Friday. Mostly sunny and 67 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Behold, a fiendish masterpiece from the bowels of hell! Mondays, boy, I hate Mondays. They make me so steamed. Weekends, I prefer the weekends! Son of a
Welcome to the show. Happy Monday to everybody. Jake Skorheim here, sitting alongside Spike O'Neill.
Hey, buddy. Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
Every Monday, I try to hit that bop, bop, bop at the right time.
Nice.
Never have gotten it once.
You know.
I'm going to keep trying.
It's an effort worth making.
It's an effort.
It is,
And
buddy.
I feel like if I get close, it's going to be a good day.
It's a good day either way, man.
We have so much stuff to talk about. First off, do you have a nice weekend? It was just a lovely. I had a lovely weekend.
I did too. We had friends in from the Southwest, from Arizona.
Sweet.
Taking a little break from their 100-plus everyday life.
Awesome.
They were actually chilly. They're sitting on the couch,
Not us.
sitting on our sofa watching TV with a blanket over them. I'm like,
very pleasant weather.
This is the Chamber of Commerce weather. That's what they say, right?
It's perfect.
It is perfect.
We had a birthday party this weekend. Went off great. You always kind of just want them to go well. You want all the kids to show up, and then you want them all to leave. And it was great. We loved it. No, and I got to meet all the parents and
nice,
really super nice. And just the weather has just been so pleasant. And this is the first week of school. My kids are starting school this week. Some folks, I think more like it's in the South Sound area. I feel like a lot of those schools already started last week.
It started last week. I was kind of surprised to see that school buses are back on the road.
Yeah. But I'm up in Snohomish County, and our school starts Wednesday. And as I believe, also Seattle Public Schools.
Fingers crossed.
Supposed to start Wednesday.
Start on Wednesday the 2nd, yeah.
We shall see. Here's the thing. If I was a parent in the Seattle School District, I think I'd be sweating bullets right now.
I would think so.
Because you're just sitting there like, all right, well, what do we do if these kids are going to be home all the time? Now, if you're in a house like mine, my wife is a full-time mom. She's at home with the kids. That's maybe a little extra stress that she wasn't planning on.
Well, yeah.
Because having your kids in the house.
Her fall vacation starts a little later.
Yeah, exactly. She wouldn't call it that. I would never. certainly wouldn't call it that.
No. Some people might.
Some people might. I wouldn't because those
stupid.
people are short-sighted. Certainly, I would never say that. But if you're people who plan on having your kids out of the house because you're both working or whatever it might be, or you're a single parent with kids or whatever, the teachers, just hanging out, waiting to strike, is probably making you a little bit nervous. And we were doing a bunch of work. We're late to all those stuff. And so we were buying a bunch of school stuff this weekend.
Okay.
We went to go get the backpacks and all the stuff. And I was thinking it's a fun time of year. It is a fun and exciting time. I love the fall. I mean, I think that it's such a Washington thing. We have these beautiful summers, but I'm really excited for the fall. And everybody kind of says the same thing. They're like, I like a sweater. It's nice to put on a sweater.
I love the change of the season. The colors come out. And,
little rain.
Little rain comes in, a little grayer. Yeah, a little cooler, a little grayer.
But with that comes the start of school. But for Seattle teachers, they might strike. And it's not just teachers striking. We're going to get into that in just a second because the superintendent of public instruction for Seattle School District, I think he kind of dropped a bomb on the whole process in a way that I'm very impressed by. This is, what's his name? Ben Schuldiner? How do you pronounce his last name?
Is it Schudliner?
Schuldiner?
If I apologize.
He signs it as Ben, so I'm going to call him Ben.
Not so gentle, Ben.
Well, I'll tell you what. I like what he's doing. I really like what he's doing.
I'm gonna say Schuldiner.
Schuldiner. Okay, let's call him Ben
Schuldiner.
Schuldiner. He put out a basically like a negotiations update, and we're gonna get into the nitty gritty of that in just a second. And I read the whole thing. It's quite lengthy, especially since I'm not a parent of Seattle school children.
It's usually 8 paragraphs. This is 8 pages.
This is long, and it dives into every single thing that they're arguing about. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how somebody reads this and doesn't come away thinking to themselves, the teachers should just sign the contract and get back to class. Like if they strike after what I read, I would be shocked. But we'll get into that in just a second. How about this? Washington Federation of
State Employees.
State Workers. State workers.
Yeah.
State employees. They're doing a walk-off today at more than 100 work sites statewide. This was in Como that I was reading about this.
52,000.
See some of this in the top of the news break.
52,000 Washington federal state employees across 100 different job sites, from hospitals to community colleges to services.
And what are they? They just want more money?
They want a comprehensive contract that covers blah. It's the standard. Everybody's hurting.
Yeah.
Everybody's feeling the pinch of economic tightness across all sectors of our lives.
They say, give us more money.
Give us more money.
Now, the thing is, so public employees...
Adequate staffing is always an issue. When you talk about getting to the point of striking, they've been talking all summer, just like the teachers. And it's funny about this walkout, which is scheduled to begin, it just actually began, I believe, at a state-run hospital close by. It doesn't say when the current contract is up. Mm-hmm. And the stories I've read, and again, I'm quoting the same Como piece you referenced, it doesn't say how long of a contract they're currently working under, when that expires. This is just a work stoppage to show garner public attention toward what they say is an untenable work environment.
And do I have this right? When a walkout for them is basically like on a lunch break or a break that's scheduled, they're not actually leaving the job because that's illegal. Is that right?
Do I have that right? That's my understanding too, because it didn't give any kind of parameters for length or duration.
So they're just taking
they're not striking,
lunch?
Or they're in mass. Well, usually in any situation, you lunch in shifts.
Sure.
Right? Somebody's always covering the phones, covering the desk.
Yeah.
Covering the exits if it's at a mental health facility. But everybody's taking a little break. Same time.
But they're legal breaks?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
I mean, the way that I looked into this, I was like, is it legal for a Washington Federation of State Employees to strike? And of course, it's not. In Washington State, public employees do not have a legal right to strike. Teachers or this union, which represents 52,000. Is it 52,000 workers?
52,000 workers, yeah.
Jeez,
every state-run facility. From hospitals to schools to services.
The union presses for a new contract covering 52,000 workers. Does that mean there's 52,000 workers in the union or just 52,000 state workers?
I'm assuming they're covering 52,000 unionized.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed to strike. But they are talking about striking. Is that right? I just heard in the top of the hour news break, they're saying, hey, a strike's not off the table. But it's like, but isn't it kind of off the table? Because it's illegal to strike.
Only if you hold them accountable. Which we're not seeing at the teachers union, right?
Yeah, you're right.
You called it last week. If everybody in charge of holding you accountable is not holding you accountable, what's the point?
Then it's kind of
do what you want to do.
Do whatever.
I don't know why we got rules. Go ahead and do what you want.
Do you think, it's tough because I was trying to read this and it's unclear to me from the article that I read. Basically, they're just saying we're stretched thin and we'd like more money. It's not giving like the specifics of what they want though, or really even the list of grievances is just kind of a general, we're stretched thin, we want more money. Doesn't that apply to everybody?
It really does. Yeah, but the problem is,
Do you have sympathy for that, though?
A little bit. I'm not that I agree with their right to strike or to stage a massive walkout.
Yeah.
It's just attention gathering. It gets to bring our attention. It's
of course.
bring us.
We're talking about it now.
It's to bring us to the table to let the listening audience know that everybody who works for the state is facing the same economic struggles we all are. Mm-hmm. Short staffing, can't keep up with inflation, can't afford to pay my bills. It's untenable. I love that word.
They say untenable. That's a good word. Untenable is a good word.
Something's got to give.
I just don't have a lot of sympathy for it. I don't want to sound like a jerk, but you just have to whenever I've gone in to ask for a raise at work, it's pretty quickly evident whether or not they're going to give it to you.
Imagine this, though. Imagine we're not a union business, but imagine, we could say to Joe KIRO, listen, Mr. KIRO, with all due respect, if we all walk off, you don't have yourself a little news station here. You know what I'm saying to you? So you may want to take us a little more seriously about what we say we need.
Yeah.
That's, and union shops in our business are becoming rarer and rarer and rarer.
It's a very different thing, though, because that is a private company that you're talking about.
Yeah, true.
They're public dollars.
Yeah.
So that's for me, it's just a different territory. There's a Boeing strike, potential Boeing strike, SPIA union. I feel
better
I feel less opinionated about that because it's a private company.
Yeah. Well, you're the boss for these folks.
But we're the boss.
Yeah, you and me, we're the boss. It's our money that they're asking for more of.
And which is why I think it was so great that the superintendent of Seattle Public Schools,
he dropped the gloves.
He put this thing out. I gotta read some of this because I broke this down into 4 sections that I wanted to cover. It's 8 pages. We can't obviously read the whole 8 pages. So it would take more than our opening segment.
Usually when the superintendent writes his newsletter, right, his real quick recap of what's going on.
Yeah.
Hey, negotiations are ongoing. Everyone's dealing in good faith.
And they keep
We're
it quiet.
back at the table.
It's always backroom dealing. And they're like,
exactly.
And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that in like, hey, we're respecting that this is a process. And we're going to keep it between us and the union and the negotiations. Right. And then, once we get to the point where we're ready to sign, then you guys are going to know the details. But I imagine there's some spicy conversations that happen in some of these, backroom meetings, which I would love to see. Here's a fun idea, by the way. Okay. Because tell me if you think this is a good idea or not. This is tax dollars, right? We're paying for this?
Yeah, absolutely. You bet.
I mean, in this
budget.
In this case, you and I aren't because we're not in Seattle, but like in other districts where they negotiate for these salaries, these new union contracts, these are all tax dollars that they're negotiating with.
Yes.
And certainly with the Washington Federation of State Employees.
Those are our dollars.
If you're negotiating contracts with unions that are public dollar unions, why not put those on CCTV? Everybody could just watch them live.
All the negotiations?
All the negotiations.
Well, I don't know about the legality of it or the appropriateness of it.
I think it's very appropriate.
Well, you're supposed to negotiate in good faith, and shaming the other side. I don't know if that's...
It's not shame. It's not shame. No, we're watching. There's nothing shameful. If you act shameful, that's on you.
Okay.
They're just negotiating. I actually think people are going to be on their best manners. You and I are on cameras all the time. And you know what I do a lot during the show? Pick my nose. Because I know people are watching. It's also disgusting, and it's a bad habit. And my parents figure out how to get me to not stop doing that when I was in high school. Whatever. But for these negotiations, why can't they be on camera?
You may be straight. You might be spot on.
I think it's a fantastic idea, especially if they're going to be in a position where they are like this. They went on strike in 2022. I think it was a 5-day strike in Seattle.
Yeah.
Their contract before that in 2015, they went on strike also in 2015.
They did.
If they're going to constantly be going on strike, which is illegal, then they should have all of these things be made public. So we're not just getting drips and drabs. Because as parents who are paying the price, quite literally and figuratively, in having to find new childcare for your kids, you're double paying. Because you're not only paying all the payments for schools.
Yeah, you're not getting your tax refund if your kids don't go to public school today.
100%.
Yeah, and you mentioned families who don't know what's going to come this week.
Yeah,
it's here.
Is that a crazy idea? I had that right before the show.
Does dad skip work?
Yeah.
Does mom have to miss work today? Last time they struck, they opened up Boys and Girls Clubs and YMCAs to provide additional resources to families who didn't have daycare. I mean, good luck. You're not going to find.
Good luck finding. You're on waiting list to get in childcare stuff in the state.
And even the concessions or the help that was offered last round wasn't nearly enough.
Yeah. I think that's I think it's an interesting idea. I'd be interested in see what the audience thinks about that.
All negotiations because it's our dollars?
Well, if it's tax dollar union negotiations, why is it secret? Why is it only after the fact? Just put it out there. Let me read you some of what Superintendent Ben put out. Here's the opening, and it just kind of sets up what he's going to do. Dear Seattle Public Schools community, I hope this newsletter finds you well. Not surprisingly, this edition will be much longer than usual because it is an important update about bargaining. It's a lot longer, by the way. As you know, the district is currently in negotiations with the SEA, Seattle Education Association, the collective bargaining group who represents many of our educators. As you probably know, SEA shares information consistently about the negotiations as well as their proposals. Both sides of bargaining are allowed to share information. This includes things like formal proposals from each side as well as any other information. like salaries or time, responsibility, and incentive, TRI pay. Every now and then, the union has shared their opinions, once with a poop emoji, he points out, about the district's proposals, which you are probably not supposed to do. But in general, most of the correspondence the union has sent up until last week, seems to have been fine. Many people have asked me why we, as a district, don't share information about things that are ongoing. Typically, school district lawyers are pretty conservative and generally advise against any communication to make sure it doesn't cross the line of bargaining in public or direct dealing or any other problematic or bad faith action. However, as many folks know, not addressing things in public, only one side is being heard from. I've negotiated many contracts in my time, and I've never responded publicly about any of them. But that is also because I've never had a union or association so publicly as SCA does. This is certainly their prerogative. I would never tell a union how to negotiate. And then he basically says, since they're doing it, I'd like to share with you our side of the table. And then he gets into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
And
he talks about, he goes dollars and cents.
Yes.
He tells people exactly what these educators are being paid.
He also tells you, and this would be very frustrating if you're a parent thinking about, oh, do I have school in 2 days? He says on March 6th, the district asked to start bargaining. March 6th, remember that date. We were willing and ready to meet anytime, anywhere. However, SCA responded to our multiple entreaties with requests for data and did not commit to an actual meeting until June 25th, almost 4 full months since we initially reached out. Now, this is obvious why somebody would do this, because they want it to be right down to the wire, because the more pressure that they can get into the negotiations, the more that works in their favor. That's leverage. But for 4 months, to just sit there basically with radio silence as parents are enjoying summer and all these things, and that deadline for the start of school is coming.
Well, they want the leverage. They want that deadline. They want the...
So they're holding the kids hostage.
Yeah, the families.
Which feels wrong. And then he gets into the pay. We talked about this last week. This part is very interesting. Nonetheless, we have offered SCA a minimum of an 8.8% raise over 3 years with no furlough days. This 8.8% is based on the expedited IPD rate for the 2027-28 and 28-29 school years. We've also promised that the IPD comes in higher, we will adjust, and if IPD comes in lower, we will let SCA members keep the extra, hence 8.8 being the minimum. And then he gets into the time, responsibility, and incentive pay. And this is the thing. All right, this is the wild part. So last week, we talked about the average teacher pay. We had somewhere around 117.
That was number quoted.
Yeah, and the actual number is not much more than that. It's about 118. I think he says the actual number is 118,716. And so this is what he says about this time, responsibility, and incentive pay. That number did not factor in this extra money that they're getting for time, responsibility, and incentive pay. And listen to what he says here. As part of their contract, many SCA members get the equivalent of about an extra 15% of their salary for TRI days, which is time, responsibility, and incentive, as well as payment for 4 tech days and 4 PD days. I was a teacher many years ago. I got paid for my time in the school. I got a salary for showing up to work and teaching the kids. Lesson planning, grading papers, and planning with my co-teachers after school was never part of what I got. Here in Seattle, our teachers get the equivalent of around 27 days of pay for all of those responsibilities. So when you think a teacher isn't being paid to prepare for school opening, including preparation for the classroom or workspace before, after, or during the school year, it's in there. When you think a teacher isn't being paid for conferencing or communicating with students or parents, guardians at a reasonable time, it's in there. When you think that the teachers are not being paid for preparing, revising, or replacing materials, it's in there. I mean, that's kind of devastating. Am I wrong?
No, you're spot on. And it's a total public opinion dagger.
Yes.
For the teachers union.
Let me just this last part, because he highlights the pay. He goes, I've never seen anything like this outside of Washington. I'm not saying the teachers don't deserve this. I'm only saying I wish I got this when I was a teacher. I also want to make sure that the community knows this is already in their contract. He says the greatest number of teachers are in this base wage pay, 1,060 teachers. Their base pay is 118 for 180 days work. They get an extra $3,298 for 5 contractual days, another $2,638 for 4 tech days, and $17,932 for TRI days, thus taking their total wage to $142,584. This does not include other benefits like retirement, stipends, extra hours, or other payments that some teachers receive. I mean, my question to the audience today, question of the day, does this completely change the game? Is this going to, and what's the point of this? Why is he sending this message out?
Why
do you think he sent
it's a
this
great
message
question.
out?
Because he was sent here to close the $87 million gap in the budget. And if it's about the kids, don't make it. Then it ain't about. Can't be about the money.
Yeah.
And it's he points out all the money elements here. He's negotiating in public. He's cutting the legs off one of the teacher with regard to public opinion. Is that fair of him to do?
Good question.
He's a new guy in town.
Is that fair?
The last guy who didn't do this, no other super did this. That's what's got us in an $87 million budget deficit.
888-973-5476. Is it fair for him to air these numbers during this contract negotiation? Also, side question.
Did it work?
Did it work? Yeah. Side question. Would you like to see these all publicly viewed on camera?
Great question.
All right. We got a lot more coming up. Jason Rant's going to join us next. Seattle doesn't seem to like cars too much, and Jason's going to talk about it next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Sunset Auto Family.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, 3 to 7.
The media's in the passenger seat. The government's driving the bus. Problem is, I don't know how the government gets people's trust back, and I don't know how the media gets the trust back as well. We've become a low-trust society. I don't know if we're as bad as the former USSR or Russia is now. Truth is whatever anybody pays it to be, and somebody wants to believe it for whatever reason somebody wants to believe it.
Watch live or later on the John Curley Show's YouTube channel.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words weren't written for history books. They were written for you. But it's hard to pursue happiness when aging is part of everyday life. John Curley here. Longevity Medical Clinic was created to help people with overall wellness and longevity, including diabetes management, heart health, weight management, inflammation reduction, nutrition, cognitive health, hormone therapy, and more. I can tell you from personal experience, being a patient for 17 years, I have a richer, fuller life, and I'm better able to pursue my own happiness. As America celebrates 250 years of independence, give yourself the chance to reclaim yours. Independence from aging. Take control of your health before small issues become big problems. Experience a smarter, proactive approach to aging, backed by decades of experience with longevity. Do what I did and feel like yourself again. Get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out how at lmclinic.com.
Stop wasting your nights on a mattress that doesn't get you. Experience the most comfortable mattress in the world. The Sleep Number Smart Bed. At the touch of a button, you can personalize your comfort. Choose firmer or softer. Adjust cooler to warmer. And right now, save up to $2,500 during our massive Labor Day event. Hurry into your local Sleep Number store today, because we have your number.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 31st, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years for new Xfinity customers. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, D.R. Horton has the right home for the best value. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Former Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes is speaking out about his forced resignation, saying he was never given a clear reason for why Mayor Katie Wilson lost confidence in him. Barnes commented on the G and Ursula show this morning.
What I heard was that I was going to be asked to resign and that a subsequent meeting was going to be held the following day, and then I turned things over to my attorney.
Barnes says he met with the mayor regularly and tried to address the city's concerns, but ultimately, he said, it's the mayor's call. He says he leaves office with his integrity intact and with gratitude for community support. As a possible Seattle teachers strike looms, many parents say finding childcare is their biggest concern. A walkout by about 1,000 teachers and school staff could keep roughly 50,000 students out of class starting Wednesday if contract talks fail by tomorrow night's deadline. One parent, Jay Watala, tells KIRO 7.
Definitely impactful in terms of, where childcare and the cost of that and trying to scramble with work and everything. But we got to take care of our teachers, too.
Nearly 50,000 students attend Seattle Public Schools. Fred Meyer is closing another Tacoma store. The News Tribune reports the grocery chain is shutting down its James Center location on South 19th Street. It's the second Fred Meyer to close in Tacoma in about a year. The Grocery Workers Union says Kroger declined to renew the lease because of rising rental costs. The union says the store will stay open until the lease runs out January 30th. About 100 workers will be affected. Fred Meyer's only remaining Tacoma store is the Stevens location, also on South 19th. Well, vandals are targeting license plate reading cameras in Covington, and police say a social media trend is to blame. KIRO News Radio's Aaron Granillo reports.
All 8 of Covington's flock cameras have been hit. In one case, police arrested teenagers.
Well, they said that they didn't like being spied on.
Chief Adam Easterbrook says an online trend known as deflocking is to blame.
We've had some cameras that were disabled, and then they were completely destroyed after they were not working anymore.
Easterbrook says the cameras are a useful tool for police, pointing to a sharp drop in car theft since they went up. But the cameras have drawn privacy concerns. Some cities have turned them off. Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Hey, look at Wall Street, where stocks are in the red as Trump takes aim at Iran again. The Dow down 344, S&P 500 down 33, the NASDAQ down 93. And now check on your commute. South 5 into Seattle off and on slowing from the U District in the downtown. North 5 slows between the West Seattle Bridge and I-90. A jam up again just briefly there at 520. Tacoma to Olympia up to 45 minutes. Off and on slowing between Lacey and Olympia. And up at Snoqualmie Pass, if you're coming down the pass, westbound 90, about a 2-mile backup on the west side of the summit due to road work. And now let's check out your KIRO News Radio weather. Today will be the warmest of the week with a high near 74 under partly cloudy skies. Tuesday, mostly cloudy, 72. A stormy Wednesday with windy and rainy conditions and a high into the mid-60s. Thursday will start to rebound with isolated thunderstorms and 65. 66 and mostly sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We're very happy to have Jason Rantz from 770 Seattle Reds, Jason Rantz Show, join us right now. Jason, welcome to the studio.
Hello.
We got a lot to talk about. We got two things we'd like to cover with you today. First, we'd like to talk about Seattle just got rid of a lane. Katie Wilson just got rid of a lane that a lot of cars were using, and this is supposed to keep people safer, but you're not quite so sure. And then also we'd like to talk about Chief Sean Barnes, former Chief Sean Barnes, who was on Gene Ursula's show just a little bit ago.
Got rid of a lane, got rid of a police chief.
She's doing a lot these days.
Clearing the books.
Yeah.
A lot of erasing going on.
All in the name of safety. Can you tell us, Jason, about this lane and how many cars are, Seattle has a long, rich history of not wanting to make traffic flow easily through the city. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is another chapter in that book.
We're talking about Denny Lane in the South Lake Union neighborhood. For people who are, maybe not familiar with this, this is arguably the second biggest or most traveled lane in Seattle to get onto I-5, the other one being Mercer Street to get onto I-5. And they decided right now, or before they made this change, it had 2 lanes in either direction. We've since gotten rid of one for a bus-only lane, specifically for one route that they call the late 8 because it's late all the time. And
well, that's why it's late, because I had to deal with cars.
Except, of course, the funny thing is the portion that is impacted here is not where the bus is late. It's late because it goes into Capitol Hill, and there's a lot of traffic and few lanes, and a lot more, sorry, this might offend some people, a lot more drug-addicted homeless people who are up in Capitol Hill or getting on that bus in that area, which is causing it to be late. It has nothing to do with South Lake Union. And yet the city decided for, I think it's like 1.6 miles worth of street, to just get rid of a lane that 20,000 cars use every single day, while also making it now harder to even turn right to get onto Denny Lane. I live in this area just on the weekend where there's no traffic ever. There's a ton of traffic as a direct result of this stupid decision. And they decided to do it despite lack of data. They'll tell you, oh, no, we have data. And the data suggested, based on some of the closures that we've had over the course of the last couple months, which, of course, they do during summer, it shows that it's not going to have that big of a deal. Except they didn't actually close off in its entirety this particular stretch of lane. It's just going to lead to more backups. Regardless, people might say to themselves, well, okay, well, this is a very hyper-local to Seattle issue, and it kind of is. Sure. But it is indicative of a general problem with transit agencies and decisions that are made in Tacoma, in Everett, everywhere, where they just get rid of lanes that are actually being used by drivers for buses. You've got one route. That's it. Yeah. One lane.
20,000 cars is a lot. That's a ton.
It is a ton. This is the easiest way to get onto I-5 southbound. It is the easiest way. It is the best way. And now it's going to be way more traffic.
It's 40,000 tons, actually, boys, but I'm not going to point fingers here. You know what I'm saying? Does the fact that this is what makes it even worse for people? You're right. You're right about all the things you said about usage of that throughway.
And by the way, I say this as a user. Yeah. I have a car, but I also take Metro. I take light rail. I am multimodal. I'm exactly what the activists say they want
you're our dream
to have
resident
happen.
in
Yes.
Seattle. Yes.
Do you ride a scooter?
I'm not a loser.
Okay.
I'm an adult, sir.
Speaking of losers, does the fact that this is the mayor's personal bus line, how can that office be so tone deaf?
Ooh, you're right.
Whether it was a factor or not.
It's like clearing what's-his-face's street in the middle of winter.
I was about to say, if there was snow in this, we'd have the full house of bad decisions.
That's funny.
Bad imaging, bad visuals.
This is really her bus lane?
Yes.
And she gets a dedicated bus lane?
That's yeah.
By the way, has she ever owned a car?
Her husband does, but I think it's her parents. I'm kidding. I kid the mayor. I wish the mayor nothing but success.
Has she ever owned a car? Do we know if she's ever owned a car? Idea. Does she drive? Does she ever drive? Does she ever sit in traffic?
I believe the mayor has a dedicated driver. I believe
now
in the official capacity of her mayorship.
Wouldn't it be so great if it was a bus driver and she rode a bus everywhere?
It's a dedicated small bus.
A full bus, just her. No, just her and her communication staff.
Okay.
But this is the kind of thing that I think drives people nuts, whether it's bike lanes or bus lanes.
Of course.
When you put them in the wrong spots. I'm not even arguing against all bus lanes or all bike lanes. There are places where it does make sense. This is not one of them, and that they couldn't realize that drives me nuts because it's going to continue to cause way more traffic, and then they're going to use the continued traffic to make other decisions down the line.
There's so much traffic.
It's endless. It drives me up a wall.
You said the research for flow on this particular stretch of Denny Way, and it was during the recent months?
Within the last few months, they pointed to research because they say we recently had some of this closed because of construction, and based on that, it didn't lead to any. That is a complete lie because, again, I live in this area, and I know the construction that they're talking about. It wasn't matching what it is they're currently doing because on top of this, they've also blocked another lane to get on to Denny. This is now 2 lanes that they blocked to get onto Denny, to get onto I-5.
Which already was prohibiting
forcing
flow.
Exactly.
I know, yeah. They're twisting the data to meet their end
Exactly.
result. It's a problem and sort of a solution. Solution sort of a problem.
And by the way, the late 8 isn't even going in the right direction. Where usually is late, it's because they're coming out of Capitol Hill.
Down the hill.
Yeah, so it's not in the direction that this bus-only lane is dedicating. That just drives me even more nuts.
I do like the fact that you said you are aware and understanding and supportive of the fact that this city is evolving toward a future with more dispersed, I guess. That's not right.
I wouldn't call it
modes of transportation.
I wouldn't call it evolving. I mean, I think they're trying to force you into this, and they usually will say the reason why we need a bus-only lane is because the bus gets stuck in traffic. And yet, as someone who takes the bus several times a week, the 70, I take it right after downtown Seattle, where they already only have bus-only lanes in downtown.
Dedicated.
It's late all the time. So tell me why it's late coming out of downtown Seattle in the morning where there's literally no traffic to compete with. Why is it always late?
It's a good question.
They're just making this stuff up. They want to get you out of your car. And the problem is, I don't know how much of this has changed recently. I'm guessing it's only gone in the wrong direction. But years ago, I was invited down by SDOT leadership, Seattle Department of Transportation, to meet the people who make all these decisions. They were not happy I was there. But what I realized when I was meeting all of them...
Did you take the bus to get there?
At that time I drove, or I think I took an Uber. Mm-hmm. They don't drive. The people who work
I know they don't.
for SDOT and who make all of these decisions, they don't actually drive.
They have to be there on time. The city, they can't afford the luxury of lateness.
Don't you think?
They're never on time.
Honestly,
they're not driving.
Honestly, though, don't you guys think that that's a problem? They're prioritizing. It's quite clear Seattle's history. They're prioritizing the mass transit. They're prioritizing
which is down.
Everything. And the vast majority of drivers, the vast majority of commuters, I should say, are in their cars.
Well, and always will be,
and always will be. So this constant push to get rid of lanes and all this stuff. When is somebody going to see reality? It just doesn't feel like they see reality. Yeah. Like you said, the people making all these decisions are in a silo. They're in a bubble where they think that everybody is like them and they just take transit because they live 2 minutes from where they work. That's not reality for the vast majority of us. We can't take these things. We don't have the time.
I try to look at it from perspective. Look, they know the city's growing. They know more people are moving here. They know people are moving here is going to be, vast majority of them going to be in cars. Let's do everything we can to help ease that in any way we can by expanding.
By doing the opposite?
By expanding the alternative methods of transportation in town.
But if the
whether
vast
it's buses
majority,
or bikes.
You just said the vast majority are going to be in cars.
Yeah, they are. Let's get a few more cars out of their way. Let's get as many cars as we can out of their way. I mean, you got to invest in mass transit. You got to invest in light rail and bus lanes.
We've invested billions of dollars, and fewer people are taking mass transit in this region than ever. We're going in the opposite direction while spending even more money. People are choosing not to do it because the service isn't particularly good.
I'm with you. It's not run well.
I've
granted that. Yeah.
I've only been on it twice. I've only been on light rail twice. Both times.
What's it, air fresheners? What's it going to take?
It feels like a locker room. And
what's it going to take?
Pine trees, little pine trees everywhere.
That's what it takes.
It takes a car.
Can you stick around for one more segment and talk about Sean Barnes? Do you have time?
Sure, yes.
All right, we're going to talk about Sean Barnes next. Stick around. Be right back.
The G and Ursula Show, weekdays 9 to noon.
I thought Target's apology was good. I'm starting off with the apology. Now I got questions. The question is, how did it happen? There's gotta be somebody, Target, in place to say, whoa, 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 whoa. You can't do that.
On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Watch live or later on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. If a new roof has been on your to-do list, don't risk another wet fall and winter. Call Valentine Roofing now. With Valentine's priority scheduling, your new roof project can get started in as little as 3 weeks. Plus, with approved financing, there's no money down, and you won't pay until your roof project is complete. Don't wait for the first leak. Call 206 Roofing today to get started within 3 weeks. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Hi, how can I help? Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager. I see. Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning? Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better. I feel better already. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Progressive presents the Museum of You.
We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 Meguiar's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, why not consider Aegis Living Respite Care, a short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we are meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if the natural effects of aging are slowing you down, it might be time to declare your independence from aging. John Curley here. Longevity Medical Clinic has been treating the undesirable effects of aging for nearly 30 years. They have more clinical experience with actual patient care than any longevity practice in the country. I've been a patient for 17 years. Wow, time flies when you got a lot of energy. I don't know where I'd be today without longevity. Longevity Medical Clinic was started so people can get back to living life on their own terms, walking, working, exercising, and enjoying the moments that matter most. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. Get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
Hey, Dad, have you heard the news from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services?
No, I haven't.
Eggs have climbed higher than ever on the new food pyramid. And that's great news for anyone who loves starting the day strong.
Well, at Wilcox Family Farms, we make it easy with our ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs. They're a delicious, protein-packed snack you can grab on the go, now ranked higher than ever.
Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Big Trees is Washington's premier tree sales and transplant company. Looking for a big selection of big trees? Visit Big Trees in Snohomish or BigTreeSupply.com.
And
Anthony Hamilton with Tony, live in the Tulalip Amphitheater, Thursday, September 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Details at TulalipCasino.com.
Want to see the defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks open the 2026 season against the Patriots September 9th?
KIRO Newsradio is giving away 4 tickets.
Holy catfish! All you have to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app and enter.
You can enter once a day from August 25th through August 31st to boost your chances.
Full details at mynorthwest.com/win.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
All right, welcome back to the show. This is going to be a fun segment. Jason Rantz from Seattle Red 770 Jason Rantz Show. Sticking around for a couple more minutes. Former Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes was on the G and Ursula Show just a little bit ago, and he was asked some questions. I'd like to hash some stuff out with you guys, and now we can kind of Monday morning quarterback this thing, or Monday afternoon quarterback this thing, I should say. He was asked about the decision to resign. Let me play this. I'm going to get you guys' take on this.
So when you did have your meeting with the mayor, did she give you any specific reasons, or were you told that she simply had lost confidence in you?
No, we, again, I told you that my wife and I had prepared not only emotionally, but legally. So when I went into the meeting, it was to listen. And what I heard was that I was going to be asked to resign, and that a subsequent meeting was going to be held the following day. And then I turned things over to my attorney.
All right. What's your take on that, Jason?
Man, I find it very hard to believe that there was at no point any explanation as to why this was happening, or
why did he resign?
I find it very hard to believe that they didn't talk at all about that. But hey, maybe this was a problem of Katie Wilson's half design in choosing to do this late in the game. I've been consistent this entire time. He should have been terminated months ago.
You were saying this earlier.
I've been saying I don't even think he should have been hired. I don't think he was a particularly good hire. It doesn't mean that there weren't some successes under his belt, for sure.
Well, that's the meat of the question, though, right? I mean, she decided to retain him.
She made that mistake.
Right, she made that mistake. But to your point, there were circumstances regarding his tenure that were, in hindsight, unbelievably untenable, it seems, right?
Yeah, being out of town all the time.
Exactly.
That is a huge problem that he can downplay all he wants.
Yeah, but
and I don't even blame him for taking advantage of a deal that was offered to him. That was a Bruce Harrell mistake that he would continue to be living with. And you and I, we've had these conversations before. If the Bite of Seattle shooting did not take place at a time when he happened to be out of town, this conversation would not be having. But that's the risk.
Yeah, but so my question is, he was an effective police chief.
I don't know if I would call him an effective police chief in the traditional sense. He's done some things that went well.
So he was headed in the right direction? Is that fair to say?
We were headed in the right direction as far as like violent crime, for example.
Going down, yeah.
Now, do we credit specifically him, or do we credit finally reversing course on a lot of the policies that you usually, if you're the person in charge, you take the credit for it, no doubt.
You
but
definitely
also,
get the blame if it's headed in the wrong direction.
100%.
Right? Yeah.
When you're looking at the numbers of recruits, which they've been lying about for a very long time, and finally people are now talking about it, we've been going in the wrong direction.
Let me real quick get to this, because Spike and I, we hashed this out, whether or not Keith Swank's claim that he was challenged through an intermediary, interim chief sales, to a fight from Sean Barnes. We talked about this, what was it, like a week ago, Spike?
Yeah, about a week ago.
All right. Ursula asked Barnes about this.
Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank posted something, and he alleged that you wanted to fight him, and that interim Seattle Police Chief Andre Sales personally delivered that message at a law enforcement graduation. Did you send any such message like that?
The answer is no. It's no, and I can even dignify that with an explanation, because there is no explanation. The answer is no. You know, this past month have been probably one of the most difficult, I think, of my career, maybe even my life, to be honest with you. But what I do know is you have to be true to yourself. You have to know who you are, and you have to surround yourself with people who truly know your character, know your integrity, and know who you are and what you bring to the table.
What is he even saying?
Actually, if I could just follow up real quick, because I want to make sure. So basically,
then the answer
Sheriff
is no.
Keith Swank fabricated
I do
that
not
story.
know him. I do not know him. The
He
answer
does
is
not
no.
know him. Okay, he says, do you guys believe...
Say if you know him.
Do you guys believe his response there? That he did not challenge him to a fight?
I 100% believe he challenged him to a fight. And anyone who questions whether or not this is in his character, just go to the way he treated Connor Nash, that reporter, who a staff member had to get in
Literally
between
remove Barnes from the room.
Barnes from that reporter.
Spike, what do you think?
I still don't think it's true. I think, did he say to Sales, maybe, man, I'd like to get that guy alone in a room sometime, blah, blah, blah. That's a far cry from I want to challenge you to a fight. Which is what Swank implied. Yeah. Among other things in that tweet, which is, I thought, inappropriate from top to bottom.
I still contested. I would like to see those two fight for charity.
Oh, I'm with you
think that
there.
would be a lot of
I'm
fun.
with you there. That's a pay-per-view.
We got 1 o'clock rundown coming up next. Stick around.
30 years ago,
I wanted to be part of keeping the Seahawks in Seattle long term.
3 decades later,
12, they're bringing the trophy home.
2 Super Bowl championship banners hang in the stadium Paul Allen built. Now, a new era of stewardship begins.
Most things that seem impossible become possible.
And we welcome the Kosla family to Seattle. From the home of the Seahawks since the very beginning, KIRO News Radio.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
My brother had his identity stolen. My neighbor did too.
Identity theft is the #1 crime in America.
My gosh, my manager? My cousin.
LifeLock detects, alerts you to, and fixes identity theft guaranteed or your money back.
Wow, that's a lot of people. Kinda makes you think.
Don't wait to become the one identity theft happens to. Get LifeLock. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Did you see what Olympia is calling their latest new tax?
The millionaire's tax? Yep.
You know it's really an income tax.
So what's the difference?
A millionaire's tax doesn't sound like it applies to you, but it does. Olympia created the income tax and refused to limit it. They left the door open to tax everyone, including you.
So what do we do?
Vote yes on Initiative 645. It repeals the income tax completely, so Olympia can't expand it and get into your paycheck.
Wait, we're repealing an income tax?
Yes, we're repealing an income tax.
And we vote yes to repeal it?
Yes. Vote yes to repeal the income tax.
Okay. Vote yes to repeal the income tax.
Well, see, they picked that name on purpose. Tell your friends vote yes on Initiative 645. Let's repeal the income tax. Visit voteyes645.com for more information. Paid for by Vote Yes, Repeal the Income Tax. Top 5 contributors, BIAW Member Services Corp., Peter and Liz Moorkill, Catalan Solutions, Inc., Steve Gordon.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about summertime. Bikinis, the occasional Speedo, sunshine, and almost always more drinking. But don't let the wine coolers or hard lemonades fool you. Too many drinks at the beach can get you in a whole lot of trouble. You're sporting a farmer's tan, but the police are wearing heavy, dark uniforms. And it's not because they're comfortable. If you don't take preventative measures, your summer tan can become a costly burn. Take a designated driver with that aloe vera and SPF 50. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to set up a free private consultation. Jail is no place to ask, missed a spot? Mind getting where I can't reach? Be reasonable this summer. And always remember, 1-800-DUI-AWAY has your back.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
The new All-Pro battery by Steel. Tackle any task with 60% more peak power exclusively. Available only at your local Steel dealer. 60% peak power comparison between AP300PC and AP300S.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. 65,000 people need emergency aid in the Nepal-Tibet flood disaster, says the UN. Americans are among thousands missing. A school official is hailed as a hero. In Nepal, ABC's Britt Clement.
The three-story school, which held more than 900 students that day, the raging floodwaters came crashing in.
Some are crying, and we help them to run.
But thanks to Principal Rajendra Dawabi, incredibly, all made it out alive.
2 people are dead, over a dozen others missing in the Grand Canyon flooding. Calling it a matter of exceptional importance, the Trump administration has filed an urgent appeal with the Supreme Court seeking immediate removal of 29 active duty service members who are transgender, even before their case challenging the Pentagon ban heads to trial in January. President Trump will meet with oil refiners and distributors tomorrow to discuss expansion of U.S. oil refining to lower gasoline prices, says a White House official. This is ABC News. Prince Harry has written to the British government to ask for increased security now that he is back in the UK with his family. ABC's James Longman says an independent body will decide.
He alleges in a letter that the committee, which allocates security, did not warn him of a possible al-Qaeda threat against him in 2023. And a source close to Harry is quoted as saying, with his return home, the game has changed. The first duty of a government is to protect its citizens, and that includes Harry and his wife and children.
Abbott is putting a new liquid infant formula with a whole milk on the market. It's pre-mixed, the only whole milk option available in the U.S. ABC News medical correspondent Yuri Benajud.
Doctors say breastfeeding is appropriate till about the age of 2, but they also acknowledge it's not always possible. It's a key reason why many parents today are looking forward to having yet another option to help feed their infants. And as always, parents should talk to their pediatrician about what's right for their baby.
Latest on baby formulas. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
Well, teachers aren't the only ones planning to strike. Some government employees are at it this afternoon. We'll go live to one location coming up following a check on your KIRO News Radio traffic. Brought to you by Seattle Sports. South 5 in Seattle, we're off and on slowing between the U District and downtown. North 5 looking pretty good, too. Just a little crowding between the West Seattle Bridge and I-90. Again, that brief backup at 520 approaching the Ship Canal Bridge. North 405 is crowded, headed through the Renton S-curves. Tacoma to Olympia, right around 40 minutes, off and on slowing between Lacey and Olympia. And if you're heading east of the mountains on I-90, we've got a 4-mile bumper-to-bumper backup eastbound 90 between Lake Ketcheles and Easton due to road work. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Connors. There's a walkout at Harborview Medical Center amid tense contract negotiations with 2 unions there. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery explains. Hi, Jillian.
Hi, Nate. And the crowd of purple and green shirts that dotted the sidewalk all over here has kind of died down now. The walkout by Washington Federation of State Employees, who represent people like medical workers and security guards. They're asking for cost of living increases. Usually they get something like 2 or 3%, which they say is already not enough. But this year they're being offered 0% for their 2027 contract cycle. And for workers like this medical assistant who I spoke to, they just say that's not enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's upsetting. I went to college for 2 years and I never thought I'd be in my 30s having to go to a food bank created by my work, contributed by my coworkers.
I did speak to the governor's office. They're calling this an unprecedented budget crisis where state and federal funding has been slashed, and almost every department across the state is facing massive budget cuts, and they know it's uncomfortable. The union here, WFSE, says they do not want to strike. They're planning more actions and hope for public support to pressure a cost of living increase, but they say a strike is not off the table. Reporting live in Seattle, Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Jillian. Another round of Amazon layoffs is hitting Washington. State records show 121 jobs are being eliminated, including corporate positions in Seattle and Bellevue, and 32 jobs at the company's Sumner Fulfillment Center. According to the Seattle Times, Amazon says affected workers were given 90 days notice and can apply for internal transfers before the layoffs become final. A drive-by shooting in West Seattle sent a 21-year-old man to the hospital Sunday night. Police were called to the 1200 block of Southwest Holden Street near 6:40 p.m. Officers say the victim was walking with a relative when shots were fired from a passing light-colored vehicle. He suffered gunshot wounds to the arm and leg and remains in serious but stable condition. Detectives are now working to identify that shooter. Washington shoppers are being urged to check their pantries after a recall involving Lundberg Family Farms organic white jasmine rice expanded to 13 states. The FDA says more than 27,000 packages may be contaminated with foreign materials. The affected rice carries best buy dates of February 1st or 2nd of 2027. No illnesses or injuries have been reported. Well, she put up a fight, but in the end, the 2024 Olympic gold medalist was too much for 16-year-old Kristina Lutova of Redmond. After winning the first set, Lutova lost to Qinwen Zhang today in the first round at the U.S. Open. Zhang acknowledged Kristina in her post-match interview on ESPN.
She's only 16 years old, very young junior, and she plays incredible tennis, fights a lot. It was not easy for me, but first, congratulations to her.
Lutova had to win 3 qualifying round matches to make it to the main draw. She'll leave New York with $140,000. Your KIRO News Radio weather, partly sunny and 74 this afternoon. Tomorrow, clouds roll in with a high closer to 72. Then Wednesday, a big storm pushes through with windy and rainy conditions. Will drop into the mid-60s for a high. Thursday, isolated thunderstorms and 65. Mostly sunny and 66 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Lots of stuff to get to. You still have an opportunity to give your opinion to us. 1:30, we're going to do our question of the day responses. We asked earlier about the teachers union in Seattle. Seattle Public Schools superintendent put out a very, very detailed half of negotiations, for at least their side of the negotiation table, and gave some details on what a huge portion of these teachers are making. And the question that we had to you guys is, does that change the conversation for you? If you were before saying like, well, you got to support teachers, when you actually read the number of how many are making a pretty high wage and what the Seattle Public Schools is offering, in spite of them being like, is it $87 million in the hole?
$87 million deficit.
$87 million deficit they're in
that the
right
new
now.
Superintendent was brought on board to close.
Yeah.
That was the reason he was brought in.
And he's like, listen, here's what we can offer. And he finishes off his letter to parents in a very, I thought it was kind of a takedown way. He's kind of closing the conversation, I think, and in a way that I respect. I think he's like, listen, here's the ins and outs. You're only hearing one side of the story. Right. And then at the very end, and this is the question that we asked you guys, does this change your opinion of anything? He says at the very end, let me be absolutely clear. SEA does not have to strike, period, full stop. If they do, that is completely up to them. They have a contract that they had signed, and it will continue. The current contract they are working under remains in place. We are not the NFL owners who lock out players trying to exact concessions or givebacks. We are good faith bargainers who are trying desperately to negotiate a contract that is good for staff and students, and the district has been very clear that we would always be willing to provide retroactive pay if they don't strike when a new contract is signed. There's absolutely no reason to strike other than to flex power. No one is forcing the union to strike. I mean, he's being very deliberate. And I think
he is.
I think he's speaking to parents in a way that they're not accustomed to.
No, superintendent. This
and they
newsletter.
I think they like it.
I think it's revolutionary.
Yeah, revolutionary.
Revealing is the word.
Revealing is also.
Yeah, both those are bear true.
Yeah.
Usually the newsletter is 8 paragraphs. This is 8 pages of hard numbers and reality.
It's long. But we can get into that at 1:30. We can talk about more of the specifics and your guys' thoughts on all of that. All right, 1 o'clock rundown, top stories, coast to coast. We're going to start this one. This is in the Grand Canyon where there is flash floods.
Flash flooding, yeah.
That is flash flood that's happening, or recently happened. I believe there's still a warning, right, for more flash flooding, possibly?
Yeah, it's monsoon season in the Southwest, and it always is this time of year. It's coming to the end of monsoon season. That trail that was flooded in the Grand Canyon is the Bright Angel Trail.
Mm-hmm.
Very common trail. In fact, it's so ironic. 2 dear friends, I mentioned 2 friends were in from Arizona this week for us, visited with us, actually flying back to Arizona today. 2 years ago, end of September, it was like the 3rd, 4th week of September, my 2 friends were on that trail. They did the rim-to-rim walk.
This very trail?
This exact trail. It's a very popular trail, the rim-to-rim in the Grand Canyon. And they trained for a long time, and they were fit, and they were ready to go, blah, blah, blah. But this type of year, these rains can come out of nowhere. And with what the Southwest is like, rains the ground doesn't absorb rainwater. That's why there's all of these gullyways and channels for rainwater to come into the Southwest, because it turns into flash floods.
Sure.
2 people are confirmed dead. 15 are still missing.
15 hikers missing.
62 people were evacuated from the canyon over the weekend. This all happened yesterday in the Grand Canyon. I mentioned my friends who just did this exact hike. It's because they ran into trouble on the hike themselves. A hike that was supposed to take 16 hours took 24, and it went overnight. And my wife was actually in Arizona to meet them at the far end of the rim to rim hike.
Really?
Oh yeah. And when they were 5 hours late, 6 hours late, 7 hours late.
Do you start calling authorities?
It's ironic you say that, because my wife was calling me. I'm on the phone with Melissa from like 11 to midnight. And about 5 minutes to midnight, she's saying, do I call 911? Do I call in a search for my friends? Because they're at this point 6 hours overdue.
Yeah.
They didn't have cell service. Like 5 minutes before my wife was going to call 911, we were on the phone talking. Hold on, I got to go. It's them. They kept moving and got to a cell service area, and let her know, look, hey, my friend's back is kicking up. We're going to just take a little break. We're going to sleep here on the trail. Let him rest. And when he wakes,
were they prepared to sleep?
Oh yeah,
outside?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. That's good.
When these guys are experienced,
prepare.
But that's when they say 15 people are missing. They don't know their status, because oftentimes they're not in any place to let anybody know what their status is.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it's just failure to be able to communicate.
To be able to communicate. They're asking anybody who knows someone who was planning on hiking in the canyon during this experience yesterday, during this event, to call and let them know who their friends are, so maybe they can know who they're looking for.
Yeah, and then cross you off the list of people to look for. Yeah. You know what's crazy? I have not spent much time. I think I've only been to Arizona once or twice. I haven't spent much time, though. I've never been to the Grand Canyon. It's on the bucket list, though.
It's worth the trip.
I would love to see it. Is it kind of one of those places that you look at for about 10 minutes and then you're like, I got it?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You really do
You really need to.
You soak it up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
It's a life-changing. I mean, not to be hyperbolic. It's a life-changing place. It really is.
Well,
one of the things natural wonders of the world.
One of the things that we watch, I don't know why this is, but we have gone down the rabbit holes on YouTube with the kids, is like you were saying, in this area of the country, the flash flooding it's not like you're stuck in like a torrential downpour and suddenly all the water's building up around you. It may not even be raining where you're at. It could be a county away, but because there's nowhere for the water to go, these waterways become just like
spillways. They come at you.
It looks like
funnels water towards you.
Have you been on a Universal ride? I don't know if they still have this at Universal, but remember on the backlot tour where they would have like the
flood would come.
The flood,
almost knocked the car over.
That is what it looks like.
That's what it feels like.
And you take these tiny little spillways to just like instantly fill up, and the volume of water that moves through there. Yeah. If you're caught in one of these canyons or these
there is no
hiking
areas,
to do.
There's nowhere for you to go.
You're just
on a
totally
trail.
stuck.
next to a cliff.
Yeah. You got 75 feet on both sides.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere for you to go, and a wall of water comes at you.
My friend we're hiking one of these very narrow canyons, these sandstone canyons that are 200 feet up, and they're literally 3 foot wide, and you walk for one he was in, it was 20 miles long.
They make beautiful pictures.
They make gorgeous
can you
pictures.
Imagine how do you think they got there?
Well, he pointed to the watermark that's on the stone.
Exactly.
That's 15 foot up in the air.
Yeah. And that's just the most recent one.
That's the most recent one. Yeah.
That's how those things formed.
So our prayers and,
Very scary.
And then there's Nepal.
And then Nepal, they're still doing cleanup. And I saw CNN had this story. There's a bunch of, apparently there's, obviously with big rivers, they try to tap into hydroelectric power and stuff. We do that in Washington State too. They have these big tunnels in Nepal where apparently there's all these hydroelectric workers that are now stuck in these tunnels. And according to CNN, there's like 45 or 50 people inside. And now you have all these authorities in Nepal who are desperately trying to, one, open the tunnels up just to get access to them because that stuff basically turns to concrete. Yeah. I mean, all that sludge, everything, it just fills up. It gets 20, 30 feet deep. I think you said during one of the areas that you saw, it was like, was it
600 feet, the flood level, as it came through the most narrow chasm of these valleys, these canyons, and 600 foot, that 120-mile wall of water was coming at people.
That's insane.
And you said that it leaves 30, 60 feet of mud. And they know that there may be survivors of these hydro workers that are in these tunnels.
Yeah, but how do you get to them?
Right.
And can you get to them in time? What's the conditions like inside? Do you remember, what was it? Was it Thailand? Is that where it was a couple years ago? And they made a movie out of it.
Oh, the cave.
Yeah.
Boy
like
Scouts?
Soccer team.
Soccer team. Soccer team in the cave, yeah.
Did you ever watch that? I think it was a Ron Howard. They did a Ron Howard movie, but they also did a documentary on it. Really amazing. And just the rescue effort to go into these cave systems and to get these kids, and then they got them all out.
And how can you not go try? I mean,
yeah, 100%.
Still what, almost 4,500 people still unaccounted for in Nepal?
Yep.
Death toll now closing in on 1,955 confirmed dead.
And just in these hydropower tunnels, they say there's 45 to 50 people inside, but of all the workers around these various projects, they say there's almost 1,000 workers that are missing.
Yeah.
So,
and how can you not try?
Yeah, you got to keep trying. All right, let's move on real fast. You saw this story. Do you want to read this, and then we can kind of chat about it? This was a Trump post about data centers.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is a topic we often chat about on this show.
President Trump came out in support of data centers today, and he's a very passionate.
He's been
leader.
a supporter for a while.
He's been in
reiterating.
support of them.
Yeah.
But today he had a Truth Social post that kind of went all in on data centers. Let data reign is the headline. It says, and this is a direct quote from a Truth Social post from our president. The only reason that communities throughout the USA should not want data centers is if they want to end up being backwards and poor. If they want to be rich and successful with far lower taxes and jobs all over the place, let data reign. The good news is that there are plenty of other places that want them. If we kill the golden goose, you only have yourselves to blame. China could not be happier with this anti-data center movement. Actually, they can't believe it is happening. President Donald J. Trump.
Now, do you take issue with what he said, or do you not like what he... Do you not like that he posted about this?
As in everything with this president, for me,
yeah,
this guy could screw up a one-car funeral, because there's
your gut instinct on him instantly. You're like, your knee jerk is kind of like, all right, I don't like this guy.
No, well, there's so much for me not to like. I think it's validly, but I think there's valid reasons I don't like a lot of things about this president. There are reasons people may not want data centers in their communities. Mm-hmm. It may be with regard to rate increases, maybe with regard to environmental impacts, whatever it may be.
Could be funding from China.
Could be anything. Well, when he says the only reason you don't want is because you want to end up backwards and poor, why do you have to go? Why do you have to go there? Why do you have to go that far? Say, look, there are people who have concerns about data centers. I feel that they may miss a golden opportunity, because he's right about that.
Yeah.
Other communities, you've pointed this out numerous times, other communities are going to want these things.
Yeah.
And China can't believe we're doing this. Completely oblivious to the fact
he's right about that, though.
What, that China doesn't want them?
No, that China wants us to not want them.
I'm trying to get there with that. You're right. He's spot on right. But he completely ignores the fact that they just revealed last week that China has a massive effort to sway public opinion in this country against data centers.
In America.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying. He's saying China can't believe that we're so stupid to not want these things.
Well, that's right there. China can't believe that we don't want data centers.
That we would fall for their tricks.
That's not.
I think that's what he's saying, right?
I read it differently.
What do you think? What do you think? I'm not trying to fight with you. I'm just saying, what do you think he's saying about China?
To me, it seems like he's giving China cover here. China can't believe we don't want data centers when it's just been demonstrated they're the ones behind.
No, that's
the
what
push.
he said. China could not be happier with this anti-data center movement, implying that they don't want us to want data centers. They want us to think that they're bad so that they can build them and outpace us in building them.
Maybe I'm misreading it. They can't believe it's happening. They can't believe it's happening that we don't want them. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
But again, to me, that's him giving cover to their misinformation campagins. They can believe it.
No,
see
I
what
don't.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't.
I don't know. I'm just speculating.
I think he's definitely saying, like, let's argue the data center. Let's have more data centers. He's definitely on that side of the argument. But we've been talking about this much recently. I do think there has been such a progression of feelings about data center.
Well, they're the boogeyman. They're the new boogeyman with regard to everything we hate about AI or fear about AI.
Yeah, and I think public opinion is swaying on them. And I mean, you look at Quincy, Washington. Poverty rate in Quincy, Washington has dropped since 2012. Quincy, Washington had a poverty rate of 29.4%. As of 2024, and I imagine this number has probably even decreased since then, as of 2024, their poverty rate dropped to 6.2% after they opened large data centers in the area. They also were able to build, we've talked about this a bunch. They built a new high school, hospital, library, aquatic center with water slides. I mean, if you got water slides coming into town and a lazy river indoor
in Quincy,
you tell me that's
finally a reason to go to Quincy.
Show me a person that's having a bad time on a water slide.
I think it's dangerous to not at least acknowledge what could be valid concerns from certain communities with regard to rate increases, with regard to data centers being self-powering, all the things we're asking for from data centers.
Yeah,
let's at least make sure if they're going to be neighbors, they're going to be good neighbors.
Well, everybody wants that.
I hope so. Yeah.
And it looks like, I mean, when you actually go and look at the data from the data centers, it looks like they're pretty good neighbors. They're kind of like picking up the check. It's like going out to dinner with a friend who goes like a rich friend who always picks up the check. That's what a data center is, who comes into town. That's what it feels like.
That's one way to look at it.
You want a new school? Data center. You want a water slide in a lazy river? Data center.
Okay.
Not a bad deal. And I really do think
as long as your rate bill, as long as your electric bill doesn't quadruple.
No, and they're not.
Well,
the areas where they're putting them in, they're not quadrupling. Virginia is the most data centered region in the country, and they have half the electricity rate that New York does, who just put a moratorium for data centers up. It's about like local policy, less about data center. Anyway, we hashed that out enough. Postal Service. What's going on in the Postal Service? Could bar people from voting by mail? I thought this was all kind of in a pause.
Well,
what's happening right now?
It was in a pause until the Supreme Court, the Massachusetts Circuit Court judge lifted the second injunction he had placed, allowing the post office to put in their new requirements for mail-in balloting.
Okay.
When those requirements were put in, that was the standing that the Supreme Court said states lacked.
The harm.
And so, that's the harm. So the post office has this new policy, and numerous states, including Washington, have now sued the U.S. Postal Service, saying you can't implement these changes. States control elections.
So it's temporarily paused again.
I don't even know where it is today.
I think it's temporarily paused.
Paused again.
Yeah.
Well, the post office's new program is paused.
Yeah,
but
the White House is probably going to now challenge it.
This will kick off with the Supreme Court. It's my opinion.
Do you think it'll get hashed out before November?
Well, that's the thing. It can't. We're already within 90 days of the election.
It's not even possible.
Exactly.
All the stuff they want to implement.
And here's the thing. I think the Supreme Court, which is going to be asked quickly by the executive branch administration, is going to ask them to rule on this. They're going to say it's too close. Hopefully, they'll say it's too close to an election. You can't change how states vote. Ballots have already been mailed, processed. There's no funding mechanism for states to redraw their envelopes. One of the things about this new Postal Office Service decree. There's no time, there's no funding, there's no mechanism to change how we vote, and let's shelve it for this midterm and revisit it before 2028.
Kick it down the road. If you want to put in some new stuff before 28, it's
probably just going to happen.
Talk about it later.
Yeah.
That feels like a pretty reasonable thing to do.
Well, but this administration wants it implemented now. That's why it's been going back and forth from court to court to court to court.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see how that one hashes out. That'll be an interesting one. Okay, well, we come back. We got question of the day. We got a lot of opinions on whether or not the teachers, do they have much support right now? I mean, the leverage is.
Did they have more yesterday?
The leverage is that if you don't give us what we want from the teachers, they're basically saying like your kids are not going to be at school on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, yeah.
And then Seattle Public Schools superintendent says, my main goal, as I stated from the first day that you guys hired me, is to make sure we were doing the very best for these students. And what's best for these students is what I'm going to tell you right now. And then he gave us all the details on their side of negotiations, which to me seemed pretty reasonable.
See, teachers yesterday, they gathered yesterday to make signs.
I did, yeah.
They were making signs.
To hand out to all the, is it 106 different schools?
Yep,
in the school
public
districts?
schools in Seattle. They were picketing practice. They were chanting.
Chant practice. I would like to not be a fly on the wall watching that.
Yeah.
How much practice do you need chanting?
1, 2, 3, 4. We're paid well, but we want more. 2, 4, 6, 8. We don't care if school starts late. That's not good either.
See, you got them immediately.
You got to practice.
Those are the best chants I've ever heard from a teacher strike. At least those are real.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, we'll get you guys' opinion when we come back. We got a lot of good ones. Stick around. We're right back.
The G and Ursula Show, weekdays 9 to noon.
This is Dan Houston, son playing in his first Little League World Series.
So tell us how you felt. It was so fun just to be literally representing our state and our community and yelling as loud as we can. Guys, this is what a time.
On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Watch live or later on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-881-8686. That's 800-881-8686. 800-881-8686.
Golden Crest Metals helps investors understand how physical gold and silver can be held inside qualified retirement accounts without pressure or confusion. Our team brings decades of experience in precious metals and retirement planning with a focus on clear education, straightforward pricing, and a process designed to put clients first. Why do investors choose Golden Crest Metals? Experience, transparency, and a client-first approach. Tune into The Gold Show with Kenny Michaels every Saturday at 1 p.m.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Jane is a small business owner. Tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
The Total Solutions Advantage. No one does business like Comcast Business.
The more solutions you add, the more you save. Get started today with a qualifying internet package for as low as $60 a month when you add an advanced solution. Plus, new customers, ask how to get up to $1,500 in prepaid cards when you add 2 lines of mobile to a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Prepaid card offers end 9/13/2026.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about artificial intelligence.
I cannot answer that.
Many professions are using it, and allegedly some are even being taken over by it. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know police are leveraging AI, whether it's analyzing body cam footage, reading license plates, or even facial recognition. AI has become a helpful tool, enabling officers to work more efficiently. And efficiency for them means more people getting pulled over. You can't chat GPT your way out of a high BAC. Getting legal advice from AI is no substitute for an attorney. Use AI correctly, or it can result in trouble, like a self-driving car taking you home from a bar.
You have reached your destination.
So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. If you get pulled over for DUI, the only thing you need your smart device to do is call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Thousands of state employees are staging a walkout today because of stalled contract negotiations. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun has more.
More than 100 work sites are all expected to participate today. These workers are represented by the Washington Federation of State Employees. The union represents about 50,000 state workers. Workers say they're concerned about staffing shortages, growing caseloads, as well as increased cost of living, while wages are not keeping up.
A statement from Governor Bob Ferguson's office says he appreciates and respects those workers, but notes the state is facing serious budget issues. United States and Iran renewing their attacks on one another this weekend. The U.S. targeted rocket launchers in the region. Iran retaliated with attacks in nearby Jordan. More from ABC's Luis Martinez.
We saw Iran launching missiles towards Jordan that were then intercepted by both the U.S. military and Jordanian air defense systems. The question now is whether this is going to prompt another back and forth between the U.S. and Iran. Iranian officials saying that they are going to continue to defend themselves.
And now to the closing bell report. Stocks fall, oil prices rising after this latest round of attacks in Iran. Dow gave back 374 points, NASDAQ down 31, S&P lost 25 points. Another round of Amazon layoffs here in Washington. The company filed a notice with the states reporting more than 120 jobs are being cut. They include corporate positions in Seattle and Bellevue and 32 more jobs at the company's Sumner Fulfillment Center. Meantime, shares of Amazon fell 2.5% today after the Federal Trade Commission announced it is looking to crack down on the company's digital advertising business. FTC and 22 states, including Washington, accused the company of tacking hidden surcharges on ads while telling businesses they were getting a fair deal. Amazon says the lawsuit misreads how its ads work. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 1:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Hey, Aaron, we're looking pretty good out there. We've got one blocking issue to report, and that's our express lanes just past Mercer. A collision blocks the right lane. Not seeing much of a backup here. North 5, the main line, is getting thick, approaching the West Seattle Bridge just past I-90. Again, approaching 520. All added up, 20 minutes to clear downtown. South 5 slows approaching the Ship Canal Bridge in the downtown. At 520, it gets thick. South 405 slows through Factoria into Newcastle. North 405, you're crowded through the Renton S curves. Tacoma to Olympia, hovering at 40 minutes with slowing between Lacey and Olympia, starting near Sleater Kinney Road. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Nice afternoon today. Mostly sunny skies with highs today topping out in the upper 70s. Right now, 72 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We are talking right now about... Actually, we're responding to a question of the day, which we asked all of you. The Seattle superintendent for the Seattle Public Schools.
Correct.
Posted a long, you said it was what, 8 pages?
8 pages.
8
and
pages.
Aaron knows there. Is it Schuldner?
Schuldner, Ben Schuldner.
Ben Schuldner.
Schuldner.
All right, so Ben Schuldner posted this. It's not what people in Seattle are used to hearing from their superintendent, especially during a contract negotiation with the largest union. And he gave a breakdown about what they're actually offering in ways of compensation. He also talked in his piece about some of the disagreements over changes or proposed changes from SPS to their special education program, and all of that in a very, very detailed newsletter that he sends out regularly. But this is like, anything but regular that he sent to everyone. Anyway, we asked you guys whether or not it changes your opinion on how this negotiation is going, where you side on things. Are you supporting the teachers? If you did, does this change the game for you at all? We got a lot of responses. Spike, you want to start us off here?
You bet. Bob and Evans, which, by the way, no skin in the game, but we care about your opinion.
Sure. Yeah.
Says it's about time Seattle teachers' salaries are publicized. Also, if they strike, the superintendent should take them to court. It's against the law.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Everybody is very quick to point that out, and they're absolutely right. And the state, because they largely are run by people who receive political donations from said union, never seems to go after the union anytime they strike, which, again, you're not legally allowed to strike, but they never enforce it. All right, 425 says, so they're revealing teacher pay. Has there been any revealing of administrator compensation? When it comes to balancing school district budgets, we should be examining just how many deputy superintendents, assistant superintendents, and directors are actually needed to run a school. Why do they keep adding assistants? And how many millions in compensation they really need? The answer is their compensation is obscene. 425 is exactly right. In this case, the superintendent for Seattle makes about $425,000 a year. He's got a base pay of $360,000. He's got an incentive program for another $60,000 in basically like retirement benefits. What's interesting about that, though, is that's not actually a ton by state standards for superintendents. $360,000 doesn't even put him near the top of how much superintendents generally make. And in this case, I feel like he's actually doing a pretty fair job of trying to get teachers back into the classroom, which is his job.
Here's my issue on what administrators make, what teachers make. Mm-hmm. The market will tell you what you can pay a teacher, right? If you don't pay teachers enough to stay in this district, they'll leave this district. They'll move on, and you'll get teachers that will work for less. You pay teachers crap, you get crap teachers. I'm the same way about administrators. If you want the best administrators to come into your school district, you have to be competitive with other school districts that want your administrator. That's just the public marketplace.
I hear you.
I mean, so it's hard for me to say these guys are all overpaid. They're overpaid. I mean, do they have a glut of administrative positions?
Yeah.
I think that's and that was hit on by 425.
Yeah.
How many do we need to run a school district effectively?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want the best and brightest, sure. But if you're buying the top administrator in the country, paying his salary, does he need 6 assistants? He's the best. What's he need 6 assistants for?
Can I respond to something you just said?
Sure.
If high pay equaled positive student outcome, I would agree with you. But that's not what happens. So Seattle has really high pay, right? Teachers are quite high paid.
Yeah, well, yes, because to live in Seattle, you have to make more than.
But they don't live in Seattle.
No,
we're not paying people to live in Seattle. We're paying people to work in Seattle. You don't live in Seattle, but you work here.
I'm with you. I hear what you're saying, but it's argued that you should be able to live close to where you work.
But do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so.
Why?
Because if to work in Seattle, you shouldn't only be able to afford a home in Snohomish or Marysville.
Why? That's perfectly reasonable.
Okay, well,
we all do it. Why is it unreasonable for a teacher to do what you and I voluntarily do? Okay, so here's my next point. As far as pay for administrators goes, he seems like he's doing a fair job. I'll give him that. But what 425 says about like assistant deputy secretary, all these different things, superintendents, just Everett School District alone has 5, and because I posted about this on my X page, they have 5 assistant superintendents who all make more than $250,000 a year. 5 in Everett.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there going like, what do they need 5 assistant superintendents for?
That's what I'm saying, too.
How's that possible?
I'm with you.
So I think it's a totally fair criticism. In this case, he seems to be doing the best of the bunch that I can see as far as like holding teachers accountable.
Well, he was brought in to help close this budget gap, and he's taking the gloves off and exposing exactly what no other superintendent before him has done.
Yeah.
This is what these guys make, and they say they need more money.
Yeah.
If it's really all about kids and class size and resources for special education, whatever it might be. I mean, you said this last week. If they were offered just a cost of living increase and every other concession they asked for,
sure,
with regard to staffing and resources,
would they take it?
Would they take it? And after this guy dropped the gloves and showed everybody what everybody makes dollar to dollar, it'd be hard for them to say no to anything like that.
Yeah, I don't see how this doesn't change the conversation in a big way. He's basically saying like before incentives and retirement and benefits and all that stuff, their base pay for the largest portion of teachers, which is like 1,060 of them fit into this pay base. It's 118 is the pay base, but with the extra incentives, like 27 paid days of classroom preparation time and all these things.
Prep days, reimbursement for
that number is
materials.
actually closer to 143 before retirement benefits, and they work 180 days a year.
That's before any cost of living increase plus the annual salary increases they're seeking in this negotiation. 425 says, I'm not sure it's worth putting much stock solely in the words of the superintendent, who's obviously very biased against the union and will frame every argument to benefit his end. Not saying every request the teachers are making is reasonable, just that you probably shouldn't take Superintendent Ben's words as gospel, and televising negotiations would turn into a spectacle rather than an actual negotiation. Wouldn't be good in my opinion.
I like when they have, like for instance, in D.C., when we get to watch committees debate things. I find that very informative and useful. I like those things.
But I also find it, to 425's point, oftentimes these guys are just trying to grab sound bites. You see, you watch Senate hearings or congressional hearings, and they get up there and they get 5 minutes. You don't ask a single question. They make a 5-minute speech trying to grab sound bites to generate fundraising.
What's interesting to me is if they were all on camera all the time and doing these negotiations because it's tax dollars, if they're going to make the argument that it's not about money and it's just about the kids, we will be able to see that pretty clearly in their negotiations.
Well, we found out from the superintendent's letter.
That's a way to say who's actually telling the truth. All right, Justin in Ravensdale says, how is not bargaining for 4 months good faith? Yes, it is fair to share this info with the public, and I would like to see the negotiations on video. It's the people's money they are negotiating with.
Heidi in Everett says $142K plus summers off. Sounds like great pay and benefits to me.
That's pretty good. Ed in Bremerton says, I think they need to pay teachers $300,000 a year, and it would still not be enough.
A lot of people feel that way. Janet,
and you're their favorite
says,
person. They love you.
Janet 206 says, guys, I'm so very tired of hearing the same whining from them every year at the worst time. They are blessed with salaries, time off, and benefits that far exceed those of the average Joe. What's the problem here?
It's a good point, Janet. Marguerite in Lacey says, it is fair to air those salary numbers if every superintendent and administrator that are paid outlandish figures took a 30% pay cut. There might just be enough money. There might just be a lot more money for the schools. There is no way that any superintendent should be making $200,000, $300,000, or $400,000. If a teacher is making $50,000, then a principal should only be making $65,000, and a superintendent should only be making $100,000. Make it like a Costco where employees make out after a certain amount. Today's teachers want more money to do less work. It is not right.
Well, everybody teaches.
Lot to dissect.
Melanie says, yes, publicly share those numbers, please. It's especially helpful for parents of SPS students to know. If teachers are going to publicly strike, inconvenience our schedules, make our students feel like they're unworthy, and embarrass their employers, then put out the facts of the budget so us taxpayers are paying them for. Makes me want to switch professions and become an SPS teacher to have it easy.
Let's see here. Carrie in Bonnie Lake says, while thinking about teachers, let's remember that McCleary did not include special education, which is short between $400 and $500 million per year in the state. That includes staffing with a sad face emoji.
We didn't have these. You mentioned that before 2015, we never had a teacher strike. It was 30 years.
Yeah.
But that was the McCleary decision came down. Yeah, but which said that the state was not funding schools adequately and required that states do that.
And then their teacher pay just shot through the roof. Through the roof. To fund schools adequately, they all make a ton now. Very interesting. Thank you guys so much for responding to those. We really appreciate all those. We got the feeding time coming up next. And I got a good one for you, Spike.
All right.
I think you're going to like this one. It's very interesting. I don't know what yours is yet, and you don't know what mine is yet. All right, we'll get into them next. Stick around.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Aegis Living. If your family has a family member, or it's you that's thinking of it, now's the time to consider senior living or memory care. Do yourself a favor and check out the folks at Aegis Living. We're talking about luxury communities with resort-style amenities, chef-prepared meals, and a level of care to earn them recognition that most senior living providers can only dream of. Voted Best of Western Washington. But beyond that, Aegis Living voted the #1 senior living community in all of America in 2025. There's over 500,000 reviews of 60,000 communities nationwide, and Aegis Living ranked #1. Go to agesliving.com/spike and schedule a visit today.
The new SR 167 Expressway is opening soon.
Sweet.
It'll be the shortcut between I-5 and SR 509 near 5.
A shortcut?
Yep, 2 miles of open expressway. Drivers can take it to avoid congestion on other roads, and freight trucks can take it directly to the Port of Tacoma. When tolling begins this winter, drivers with a good-to-go pass will pay $1.
Oh, $1?
That's right. And to make sure everyone's ready, sticker passes are available right now at no cost. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Tune in to elevate your wealth.
If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
A dark night, a quiet suburb. But for one family, danger lurks just downstairs.
Oh, no. That's just my husband getting a midnight snack.
Guilty. But
We have Xfinity Shield. It has a built-in Wi-Fi feature that detects movement without cameras.
well, what they didn't know is that an even bigger threat lurks online. A hacker.
Actually, Xfinity Cybersecure protects our connected devices, too.
Okay, fine. But what they didn't see coming
is that these features are included with our Wi-Fi. We did. Kind of the whole point.
Well, this one's not getting a sequel.
What if protecting your home and devices could be drama-free? Introducing Xfinity Shield with Wi-Fi features designed to give you peace of mind. Visit xfinity.com/shield to learn more. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Xfinity Internet and compatible equipment required.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value, and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today, and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour, and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Have you been putting off remodeling your kitchen because of the stress, mess, and cost? Stop waiting. Heritage Homecraft makes it so easy and affordable to update your kitchen. Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. We're teaming up with KIRO Newsradio to give you a chance to win the Fall Kitchen Facelift. It's your chance to win $5,000 towards your kitchen refacing project, plus a $500 Visa gift card for new kitchen gadgets. For full contest rules and to enter, visit mynorthwest.com/win.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
Want to see the defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks open the 2026 season against the Patriots September 9th?
KIRO News Radio is giving away 4 tickets.
Holy catfish! All you have to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app and enter.
You can enter once a day from August 25th through August 31st to boost your chances.
Full details at mynorthwest.com/win.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
All right, welcome back to the show. It's feeding time. We look at social media feeds and we find out what they're shoving down our throats. I have a pretty, well, I wouldn't say it's a tasty one, but I have a good story today.
Okay.
Mine's more of a pouring down your throat. But what do you got today for me, Spike?
I fell in my old habits.
Really?
Yeah, I hate to say this, but my social media feed. Laura, can you share the picture?
Is it
I
getting
shared with you?
political again or something?
Yeah, because last week the big story of the week was Lake America.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then go ahead.
What? No.
And then the Donald
the
Ducks.
Donald Ducks was great. I wish it was more Donald Ducks. This is what you find when you search Google Maps now. Google Maps has, as they have called it, the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
Google Maps now identifies Lake Ontario. Yep, to Lake America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I just got, no pun intended, I just got stuff down my throat all weekend long.
But don't let it make you mad.
But
it's just a map.
It does.
It's just a map.
No,
You're not even on Lake America.
I'm never going to be on Lake America, as I may go see Lake Ontario one day. Lake Ontario was named literally 400 years ago, before there was a Canada, before there was a U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And when you bow down to a guy who just, is Sharpie and, addicted, I think it's the smell. I think he's always sniffing the smell of a freshly opened Sharpie as our president.
Mm-hmm.
When you think you can just decide,
yes.
I know, when you think you can just decide.
Okay.
And then you have corporate overlords or, oligarchies, the tech bros who are up next to you at the inauguration. There's reason Trump says data centers rule because all his big donor buddies want to pump data centers everywhere across America. And when you get somebody like Google saying, sure, let's play Lake America and legitimizing this,
you think they're greasing the wheels for like a deal?
Absolutely. Well, they've already got all the deal they want.
Yeah.
They don't want any guardrails on AI. They don't want any guardrails on what they do. They want to just, build, run, make, money. Mm-hmm. And it's not the president's job to make them more money.
Yeah.
It's not. It's his job to make sure that we as Americans are getting from our government what we ask it of it, and it's getting fair representation and treatment to all the citizens, regardless of what club you eat at.
Is it helpful, though, to have a government that does encourage businesses to grow?
Of course.
Yeah, that's a nice thing.
But
I like that.
But regulations.
Spurring innovation by not handcuffing them, but to stupid regulations.
Yeah, but regulations are why most kids in the 1920s finally had 9 fingers, 10 fingers. There, I dreamed 10 fingers. And only had to work 14-hour days.
You're a pro-regulation guy.
Absolutely. Within reason.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm not for running amok. I like, clean water. I like taking a pill and not having that kill me.
That's what's
great.
great.
I like eating burgers and I know where the cow spent his afternoon.
That's what's great about you and me. We're very, very different on that front. Yeah. I'm more of a let the market decide.
Let business run amok.
Let the invisible hand of the free market do what it does. Stop regulating. Stop ruining things. Stop getting involved in businesses you have no clue about.
That's not an overreach. I think that's a fair expectation.
Yeah.
Also, don't want them pumping their toxic sludge into Lake Champlain or America, wherever it might be.
Listen, if that were happening,
you could light the Cuyahoga River
if that
on
were
fire,
happening, I would expect the EPA to step in and do something about it.
It used to happen all the time until the
Is
EPA
it happening
stepped
right
in.
now?
Well, if you stop regulating, you're heading back. But I digress. I digress. What's being stuffed? I don't want me to be what's stuffed down your throat today. What's your feed giving you?
All right, my feed is there was a big giant heist, which I think are very interesting because I like to solve these things.
Heists are fun. Yeah, they are fun to look at.
A truck carrying 40,000 pounds of Pabst Blue Ribbon beer has been stolen in California. What's believed to be, this from Poly Market, the largest beer heist ever. And then the update to the story, because that was a couple days ago, the update to the story, 3 days later, Pabst is now offering a reward for the safe return of its stolen beer. And I can't tell. I'm going to read you this statement that they sent out. I can't tell if this is tongue-in-cheek and they're trying to like lean into the story because it's good for press and it's good to get your word out, your name out there. Pabst Blue Ribbon is telling the thief, quote, "You have exactly 18 days and 44 minutes to return our truckload of beer. No questions asked," but I don't understand. What does that mean? 18 days and 44 minutes. So am I not getting a significant number there?
When was Pabst originated? I bet it was 1844.
Oh, you're a genius. Can we look that up real fast?
I bet you anything. Pabst Blue Ribbon first premiered in 1844.
I'm looking that up as we speak. Pabst Blue Ribbon founding. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Oh,
I'm just speculating here, but if I was a marketing guy at Pabst, my real question is this a publicity stunt?
1844.
I had a feeling.
You're so smart.
I had a marketing degree. My question is,
I never would have thought of that. I would have assumed that meant like that's when it expired.
That's when the beer goes bad.
Doesn't make sense.
The beer goes bad in 19 days.
Is it already bad? No, just kidding.
I thought the story was going to be disappointed hijacking crew really figures that we stole what? No, Pabst is a fine beer. It's a fine beer.
Listen, we're not here to advertise for beer.
No, not at all.
There's a different time in life for everyone. If you're in the phase of your life where this might be something you're interested in.
My kid's a manager on Capitol Hill at a bar on Capitol Hill.
I'll bet you they get a lot.
PBR tall boy. Sure. You ain't cool if you ain't got a PBR tall boy in your hand.
There you go.
My question is, though, did somebody at Pabst make a lot of money betting on when that truck would be stolen? Right?
A Poly Market bet.
I'm telling you.
That's a good question. Also, like, I bet you the publicity,
it's great marketing.
The publicity value of this story
one truck of beer
is way better than whatever they were going to make on 40,000 cans of Pabst Blue Ribbon. 40,000 pounds is what? Like,
it's a truckload of beer.
$200? Something like that?
No, it's probably about, if I'm going to ballpark it, I'm going to guess it's about 4,000, 5,000 cases of beer.
Okay.
You know? And at that point, you're talking about maybe $100,000.
Okay. Yeah, they got more than $100,000 of publicity out of this.
Perhaps every day.
Good for them. All right, we got the 2 o'clock hour coming up next. Seahawks have finalized their roster. Who do they get rid of? Are we excited? Why don't starters play in the preseason anymore? We'll talk a little bit about that.
Is that a good idea? I don't know.
And then one of our regular guests was on a national news segment where she nearly was attacked by a rake-wielding man. We'll talk about that next. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-List member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
If you remember listening to this, and this, and this, then remember this. COVID hasn't gone away. And if you're an adult with conditions like diabetes, asthma, or heart disease, it can cause serious setbacks. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about the latest COVID vaccine. It's one of the best ways to help protect yourself. Find out more at PfizerForAll.com. Pfizer. Outdo yesterday.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. After deliberating but reaching no verdict, the jury's gone home for the night in the Lindsay Clancy murder trial in Plymouth, Massachusetts, accused of intentionally killing her 3 children in 2023. Her defense blames postpartum psychosis. 65,000 people need emergency aid in the Nepal-Tibet flood disaster, says the UN. State Department says it's tracking approximately 80 Americans unaccounted for. Sonny Patel waiting to hear from his dad from New York.
It gets harder with every minute, every hour, really, to stay positive, because we would have hoped that we would have heard something from them by now.
2 people are dead and over a dozen others are missing in the Grand Canyon flooding. Calling it a matter of exceptional importance, the Trump administration has filed an urgent appeal with the Supreme Court seeking immediate removal of 29 active duty service members who are transgender even before their case challenging the Pentagon ban heads to trial in January. This is ABC News. Abbott is releasing a new liquid infant formula with whole milk, the only one available in the U.S. ABC News medical correspondent Yuri Benajud.
While the liquid formula is not nutritionally superior to powdered infant formula, it does give parents yet another option when breastfeeding is not available. While formula made with whole milk does have some properties that are closer to breast milk, it still needs added oils and nutrients to meet babies' needs, like all standard formula. Liquid formula also undergoes an additional sterilization step.
Tennessee football head coach Josh Heupel announced the team will honor Dolly Parton by wearing a sticker on their helmets with her signature.
The Queen of East Tennessee, and a lady that was extremely proud of her roots. You look at her impact, her ability to give back, make an impact to people. Certainly here in East Tennessee, she means a lot to people across this country, but certainly here inside the state of Tennessee.
Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Coming up, thousands of state employees stage a walkout. That's after Nate Connors at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
Thanks, Aaron. This one's brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY. If you're heading into Seattle South 5, you're slow from the U District into downtown. Nothing real heavy here. Plan on 20 minutes from Linwood. North 5, we've got scattered backups between the Michigan Curve and Ship Canal Bridge. Southbound 405, you're slow from Southeast 8th and Bellevue all the way to Northeast 44th near the VMAC. Bellevue to South Center's at 25 minutes. North 405 now filling in between South Center through the Renton S curves. Southbound 167, we're getting crowded through parts of Kent and Auburn, again between Algona and Sumner. And up in Everett, eastbound 526, we're heavy leaving the Boeing factory over to I-5. Serving the Pacific Northwest for over 30 years with hundreds of 5-star reviews. 1-800-DUIAWAY.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Thousands of state employees walking off the job today.
What do we want? When do we want it?
Workers at Harborview Medical Center among the union members fighting for a new contract. They represent people like medical assistants, food service workers, and security guards. Sarah Mattingly is president of the Washington Federation of State Employees.
We got a 2% and a 3% raise consecutively, which was bargained 2 years ago, but it took walkouts and actions like this for them to come back to the table.
Governor's office says they respect these workers, but that most departments in the state are having to cut back during a budget crisis. Another strike is looming now at Seattle Public Schools, where the teachers union is negotiating a new contract. They have until midnight tomorrow to avoid a strike, which could start on the first day of school this Wednesday. Seattle Public Schools Superintendent Ben Schuldner is accusing the teachers union of regressive bargaining. Seattle's former police chief Sean Barnes is speaking out for the first time since he was forced to resign. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
The interview on G and Ursula was one of Barnes' first since leaving the position of chief of police. He talked about the Bite of Seattle shooting and the delayed news conference that followed, his accomplishments as chief, his departure, and G. Scott asked Barnes if he believes he was treated fairly.
Yeah, it's policing, right? And, I don't know. I think if you're waiting for something to be fair, you probably need to go to the state fair. But other than that, it's probably not going to happen.
Barnes says he leaves with his integrity intact and with gratitude for a supportive community. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The reigning NFL Offensive Player of the Year checking in at number 5 on the league's top 100 players list.
JSN on the left side.
This is the first time Jackson Smith-Njigba made the list, voted on by the players themselves. JSN led the league last season with nearly 1,800 receiving yards. He's the third Seahawk on this year's list, joining QB Sam Darnold and linebacker Ernest Jones. Now to your forecast, looking at mostly sunny skies this afternoon. Highs topping out in the upper 70s. Another nice day tomorrow before rain and clouds move in midweek. Right now, 74 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down. One final amazing hour to go. Lots of stuff we got to get to. We got footage on the TV. We got different TVs in here just so we can keep up on the breaking news that's happening. Man, those flash floods in the Grand Canyon are insane. I can't even imagine.
I got a picture of my buddy on that exact same bridge that we just saw with that raging river under it, right? There's a stream under my buddy hiked this 2 years ago almost to the day. That rim-to-rim hike my friends Greg and Rita went on, and they're in their late 60s. They trained for a year, but nobody can be prepared or trained for these flash floods, these weather incidents. Laura says, if there's rain in the forecast, you don't go, and that's the call. That's it. But like you said, it can be raining a county over.
Yeah,
and the water comes down in such force with such volume, and there's nowhere for it to go. It doesn't absorb into the ground in the Southwest.
Pretty wild.
Buddy. All
right, can we get into just a second? Have you been following the preseason, Seahawks preseason?
I love, yes.
We're so close.
And
dude.
it's not just Hard Knocks, which has been just what a great experience.
Super fun.
What a fun run. And thank you, HBO. And thank you, Seahawk management and ownership, for finally letting that franchise into the VMAC. After years of Pete Carroll saying it was too much of a distraction, we don't want it, we don't want to be a part of it.
And there was also rules from the NFL, and I guess they must have changed them, but if you had a team who recently got new...
it was who had won a championship, right, or won a division.
Yeah, like
or
if you had just won a championship, you couldn't be on it. It was kind of like a way to highlight teams that needed more attention.
You wonder why the Bengals went on so many times.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
You're right, totally.
Yeah.
And then somebody wins, and you can't be on it. But you know,
thank goodness they are.
Seahawks just won.
But I watched the final preseason games Saturday afternoon, and you know, people I don't know any of these guys are. These are men who have been working their entire life chasing a dream, and this is their last chance.
I know. It's
you know, some of the guys
pulling for them.
Some of the guys that had great days on Saturday are on the list of players cut today as the Hawks trim down to 53, their final roster. But this isn't their final roster. I mean, this is they've waived a bunch of players, they've released a bunch of players.
So when do they have to lock it in? Is it just like it's a couple days out from the season opener?
I think I will check with Seattle Sports. I think it's a couple days prior to the or the Sunday before the opener.
Oh, okay.
Because they're now that the league has trimmed all this talent from all these teams, some of the players the Hawks released, some veteran players released yesterday by the Hawks. They have the opportunity to sign with other teams. Some, if they're vested free agents with 4 years of service or more, they become instant free agents. They can sign with any team they want. Other teams waive people we're probably interested in. That's the thing about John Schneider. He's got an eye for talent, man.
Okay.
He is combing the waiver wires today.
So all 32 teams have to trim their advanced squads from 90 players down to 53 by Sunday, August 30th, which was last night at 6 p.m. As far as waivers go, they have until Monday, August 31st, 1 p.m. Eastern time to claim players who were waived, according to this is Yahoo Sports. So this is where, like, if you want to get a invitation for a practice squad,
yeah.
Is this also the same deal? I mean, is this
guys who clear waivers, guys who don't become unrestricted free, vested players with 4 years service who don't become unrestricted free agents?
So after all the waiver period is over, then they can start building up their practice squad guys.
If guys they put on waivers, clear waivers, don't get claimed by somebody else, they can then be put on the practice squad.
Got it.
Yeah, and build that.
I have
roster.
a guy who I hope the Seahawks are interested in picking up.
I know you do, buddy.
Shy as Pete, who we all heard last week. He had that amazing speech, and I'm going to try to pull it up here.
He was released by the Cowboys.
He was released by the Cowboys after this amazing speech. You tell me you don't want this guy in your practice squad. The problem is he's going to draw too much attention. He's going to, everyone's going to be like, get that guy on the main squad. We just want him. Here he is, Shy as Pete, giving a speech. He was a Dallas Cowboy until he got cut. Oh, here's my audio.
Well, that was an incredible win. I am very fortunate to be amongst you and to play in the same field where the same star hold it on our chest. And I'm proud of us. I'm proud of how far we've come. Man, this game, fate brought us here as strangers, but this game, this star, this team will make us brothers.
I'm sorry, you're cut. I'm not meaning to make a joke. I really like this guy. I only know of him for 43 seconds, but he seems like a good dude that you'd want on your team.
Kind of hard worker, played himself into a position, an opportunity.
Yeah, you just look at his background. I mean, I'm trying to do some PR for the Seahawks here. If there's anybody they want to get on the practice squad, it's this guy.
You know what, though? A team that won the Super Bowl, that brought back everybody but 4 people from that 53-man roster. There weren't a lot of opportunities here. A lot of guys that couldn't play their way onto this roster easily are going to make other rosters in the NFL.
You're totally right. I mean, they're already this is the number one team in football.
And
there's not a lot of room for new guys.
Right.
That's fascinating. Speaking of a guy who's getting back on a roster, can we talk about this for a second? We're not a sports show, but sometimes it is fun to talk sports. Are you an LA Rams fan?
Heck no.
No, you're not.
No,
you're
not
a smart guy. And you're a home team guy.
Yeah, but that being said, you admire talent.
You admire talent. Aaron Donald, who's a superstar, retired a superstar, Super Bowl winner.
He went out after they won got his ring.
He retired.
Yeah.
And basically, it looks like he's just been living on a workout bench.
He's been living in the gym.
He looks like he's been living in the gym.
Oh, he's totally.
He is coming out of retirement.
Yep.
And you said he's going to be playing alongside, who else did they pick up again?
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
From the Cleveland Browns. And arguably the best defensive lineman, if not the best defensive player. He was Defensive Player of the Year last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Right, so they now have...
Not too shabby.
Maybe the greatest lineman of all time in Aaron Donald, and now Miles Garrett side by side interior of their line. Everybody's saying why do the Rams? Everybody's darling, their pick, their clear favorite to win a Super Bowl. This is one of the reasons. I mean, last year you were able to double team when not last year, but when Arnold played, right? Or Donald. Excuse me, Aaron Donald played, and Donald. When he played, you double teamed him every play, and he still got through. Was a beast. He was still a beast.
Big dude.
He ended the Super Bowl because the Bengals had a chance to beat the Rams in that Super Bowl, and Aaron Donald ended it after being double teamed. Now you got him and Miles Garrett side by side. Who are you going to double team? Who are you going to leave one man on?
That's it.
Disruptive, man.
Even if he's just being hired as a distraction.
Well, but the problem, he's not a distraction. He's a refrigerator with a jersey on.
Do you think you can step away, even if he's been in the gym, like, building up his muscles? Not like he needed to, but
right.
Do you think that you can be out of the NFL for 2 seasons and come back and compete in the NFL?
Yeah, he's not Phillip Rivers. Remember last year when they brought Phillip Rivers out because he knew the offense?
Old man Rivers, yeah.
Right? Yeah, and not Aaron Rodgers, who at 40 is playing with his brain and not much of his body left.
I forgot about Phillip Rivers. Do you remember how crazy that was?
Yeah, Johnny Armflab,
high school coach.
Yes,
gets a call and says, "Hey, come on back. We need you. You know the offense." And do you remember how he looked? I mean, he just looked like...
He looked like me. Well, no, I wish I looked that good. He looked like a dad. He had a dad bod.
He still looked pretty good, actually. When you think about
But he was a good-looking dad.
Obviously, he had a long career, NFL player. He should look good. He's,
Aaron Donald looks like he's only missed 2 seasons.
He looks younger than when he retired.
Yeah, he's not going to have any problem. They're going to have limited snaps on him because he's 35 years old, and it's not old, but in NFL years where he plays,
it's ancient
in the middle of the line like that, where your body
playing against these young guys
getting doubled up every play,
who are just beasts.
He'll still make a difference.
What's interesting about these guys is so many. Like I was talking to Wyman about this one time. He said his big struggle in the NFL was keeping weight on because you're doing so much work all the time to stay big and fast, and all these. Like he would finish a game. And on the flight back, he would be sitting there in his seat, just like devouring a pizza.
Calories,
just to keep the calories up.
Yeah.
And Aaron Donald's been living like a couple of years now, where he's just been probably eating a lot of sushi and delicious like finger foods because he's super rich and healthy.
Yeah.
And is that the guy that's going to be able to come in and have an impact? I mean, obviously he knows what he's doing.
Well, he's still 6'1", 280.
He's a superstar.
He hasn't slimmed down to his.
Is he 280?
Yeah, 6'1", 280.
Jeez,
his body percent is like, if body fat is like 0.1% or something. And he's insane.
What would you do if you could walk around? If you walked around 6'1", how tall are you?
About 6 foot.
6 foot. Okay.
You know what's funny? We're almost the same build.
You guys have the exact same build.
Yeah, I'm 48% more body fat than him, but other than that,
you know what? But if he works a little harder, he could build up to your girth.
That's so embarrassing right now. I can't believe I just realized that. That's just insane.
He is.
Yeah.
How much you say he is?
280.
280.
I don't think I'm quite 280.
All right,
but you can. If I could bend over, you can see it from here.
I'm like 6'1.5".
Yeah.
Almost 6'2". He's got 100 pounds on me.
You're about 180?
I'm about 180. Okay. He is pure muscle.
He's beef, nothing but. He's
what would you do? What would I do if I was walking around with an extra 100 pounds of pure muscle?
You'd crush a couple quarterbacks.
Play in the
pick
NFL.
Up 15, 20 mil,
Yes.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, sure.
Good golly. But he's not just. Here's the crazy thing. We're like probably fanboying out a little bit too much on these guys. He's not just pure muscle because there's like gym muscles.
Yeah.
He's an
athlete.
He's an athlete muscle.
Yeah.
He can, and I hope he's so disastrously unsuccessful in the NFL this year. But when I'm watching Hard Knocks and I'm watching these guys, like I don't know who I was watching the other day, but they were doing some exercise where they're doing like standing jumps. Mm-hmm. Have you seen
vertical
that?
leap.
The vertical leap.
Yeah.
Did you see that video that was going around?
Saw that.
Who was that? Was that Miles Garrett? It might have been.
Well, no,
I don't know who it was.
At our camp?
No. Just floating around on the interwebs.
Might have been Garrett.
These guys are just literally, they're at a standstill and they just float like 4 feet up in the air.
Imagine a filing cabinet that could jump up on the tabletop.
Yes.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's not fair, dude. It's not fair. But they're working at it. I mean, he wasn't born
They work hard. He works hard, man.
If he was,
we say
God
he
bless
spent
his
every
mom.
day in the gym for the last 2 years. That's that's a lot more work than I'll ever put in my entire
What's
life.
the best shape you've ever been in your entire life? And how'd you get there?
I was my best shape ever. I was a skateboarder.
Skateboarder.
I was still high school sports, and I didn't have a driver's license, and I skateboarded everywhere. I mean, I skateboarded 15, 20 miles.
It's a good workout.
Yeah, just
good core muscles.
Kick and run. And I played lacrosse and football and dove. And
There
I
you
was,
go.
Yeah.
What was the biggest you ever got weight-wise?
About 185.
185.
Yeah.
And you're probably just pure muscle. But what was your body fat percentage? Do you know?
No, this was the 70s.
Probably 6%,
early 80s,
5%.
If that, yeah, probably that.
It's pretty sweet. It's real sweet.
Those were the days, my friend.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
You're just pounding food.
You know it. There's no limit.
We still kind of live like that. We're just not like in shape.
We used to be able to eat like a teenager because you were.
Yeah.
Demi. Yeah.
My kids right now are just, they're not to teenage status yet where they're just
There's
like
little
inhaling
furnaces,
food,
man.
but they're already eating so much. I am spending so much on groceries. The other day, this is a little side story, and then we'll get into what we're actually talking about. What are we talking about? We're kind of talking about Seahawks right
well,
now.
maybe, no, we're getting Bellevue Mall's for sale.
Bellevue Mall.
You may,
Bellevue
need, to
Mall
buy,
for
you may
sale.
need to buy this just to feed your family.
Where am I going to get my Aunt Annie's cookies? My 7-year-old, it's kind of late at night. This is ridiculous. It's late at night. He's been asleep for an hour and a half at this point. He comes out. My wife and I are out in the living room, just kind of like chilling out on the couch, watching something. And he's like real kind of sleepy.
Yeah.
And he's hungry. He just has to eat. He's 7 years old. Yeah. We have this big, like a big Costco thing of croissants. He just grabs a croissant, takes it back to bed at like 10 o'clock at night.
He's building muscle, man.
My wife kind of looks at me and I'm just like, I don't know. I guess that's okay. I don't want him to choke on it. I went in and checked like 10 minutes later.
You have a digested
he's
croissant
sleeping
in his mouth.
But he's breathing comfortably.
Okay.
So I'm like, he's all
Check
right.
his airway.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But they're just like constantly eating. I find food wrappers everywhere.
You know those little protein drinks?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Right? You find about a half dozen of those empty in his room. Then we got to talk. Tell me you got to talk.
He's just sitting there doing push-ups on his knuckles.
Yeah. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
College is paid for.
There you go. All right. Let's talk about Bellevue Mall for a second. This was kind of a big surprise announcement. Kemper Freeman announced that they're exploring the Kemper Development Company Corporation.
And not Bellevue.
CO,
the Bellevue Collection.
They own the Bellevue
to clarify.
Collection.
Yeah.
And they are it's not the mall? I thought it was the mall. Isn't the Bellevue Collection the mall? Yeah.
Yeah. Bellevue Square is the whole street in front, the whole complex, both sides, blah, blah, Bellevue.
Is that Bellevue Collection? I think it is.
Okay.
Anyway, 5.5 million square feet of mixed-use complex. This is in downtown Bellevue. Everybody's been there or driven past it if you haven't been there. They are exploring a sale because Kemper Freeman Jr. is retiring. I believe this guy's in his 90s. Is he in his 90s or he's close to? Or he's not a young man anymore.
Junior is in his 90s? Good Lord.
But he has, you look at Bellevue, and Bellevue really has been the standout. When you look at, what's the place that we always kind of make fun of in downtown Seattle? But it's basically just boarded up.
Pacific Place.
Pacific Place.
Yeah.
Which in the 90s used to be like a hip, cool place.
Oh, you bet. It was the place to be.
It was like high-end shops.
You couldn't find parking under that mall.
Totally. And now, basically, it's just the upper levels that have stuff because down below, it's like you're worried about the underground people getting you down there.
True.
And
during
now
World Cup, they made it a huge World Cup party watching zone.
Yeah,
because it was empty.
Because it was available.
Yeah,
but that's kind of where you look at that never happened in Bellevue. Thankfully, Bellevue somehow figured out. And how many times have we had stories about all around the country? You've probably gone down these same rabbit holes that I have, where you watch these videos of abandoned places. Do you ever watch videos like that?
Oh yeah, malls.
You go into malls. You go into a mall and out in Atlanta somewhere where they end up making money because they film Stranger Things out in these places.
Right.
And because they're available, because they're empty. They're just nobody goes to these places
that's
anymore.
how Northgate got gobbled up. It was just sitting empty. It vacated. South Center is almost the same way. Westgate, South Center Mall, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's peripheral shopping at best.
So how did they become the gold star in keeping
Because what you buy in Bellevue, you can't buy online. or you don't buy online.
Which is what?
Well, your average American shopping experience, going to the Gap, going to wherever it might be, all the different little mall stores. You go to the Bellevue collection, it's high-end stuff.
Yeah.
These folks are have been insulated from economic hard times, and those shops aren't. You can't Amazon up the kind of purse, the kind of shoes, the kind of amenities they shop.
There's a tactile thing. You want to go and see it in person.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You want to see a $5,000
it's an
whatever.
upper end shopping experience over there, and I think that's been insulated from the retail blight that is online. I don't just blame Amazon, but online shopping in general.
Sure.
It's kind of into retail. We've changed how we retail until you get to the upper echelon.
It's a smart business play. People obviously they want to be. People still like going to malls.
Absolutely.
It's still fun. Like my kids, we didn't take them to a ton of malls when they were young because they kind of didn't exist.
Right.
And a lot of their childhood was like during the couple of years where the entire world seemed to shut down.
Yeah,
especially in this region. So like when we started taking them into malls again, I remember we took them to Bell Square and we rode the escalators and we went and we saw Santa and we did all this stuff. It's still that fun experience that everybody grew up having.
Yeah.
And now I'm worried as I see the story. I'm like, well, if this is the Freeman family, like, you know, they've had it for 80 years. They've been running it for 80 years.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to be something that continues on? I guess they're going to be pretty selective in who buys the place because they want to make sure that you guys are, you know.
Are they though? Are they? Do they
That's
care?
a good question.
Do they care? Or is it just smart people who invested well, who knew a good market to get into?
I think they
getting
care.
out at the right time.
I think Kemper Freeman actually does care.
Have a bit of a legacy to concern themselves with.
Yeah,
that's probably do. They probably do.
I had the good fortune of meeting him at a dinner and sitting right next to him.
Yeah, man of quality individual. Yeah.
He and his wife are like the sweetest people I've ever met.
That's nice to hear.
And when you think about, and this was at a charity event where he's donating large amounts of money for like first responders and stuff like that. I do think that he doesn't need the money. I mean, they've done very well.
Right.
I do think that he looks at Bellevue and says, hey, you know what? We've been able to, like you said, we've been able to fight back what other cities have lost to, and we've been able to hold that ground.
Yeah.
And that's a legacy that I don't think he wants to lose.
Agreed. Part of which I'm going to assume here is that they've cared about their tenants and their tenants care about their employees.
Yes.
And it hasn't been a cut every dime, cut services, cut quality. And it's, you know, because you can't when you have higher end clients or tenants like they have.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope it
survives. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they're able to figure this thing out.
Absolutely.
It's a big shock, though. That's a lot. I mean, that's a big sale. What do you think something like that goes for? 5.5 million square feet?
I can't imagine.
Couple bill? Don't you think? I mean, just as retail space, just as
commercial retail space
alone, I would think
in the prime heart of a downtown,
4 billion, 5 billion. I just have no concept of what something like that would cost. A lot.
I can't wrap my head around that. Probably less than the Seahawks, but not by much.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right, give us we'd love your opinion on that. 888-973-5476. Especially if you're in real estate and you know something about this, hit us up. We'd love to hear about it. All right, there are some door-to-door sales schemes happening in Washington. I thought this would be a fun jumping off point because I get door-to-door salesmen every single year around a very specific time of year around only one industry.
Really?
Yes. Okay. And I'm going to tell you about it when we come back, and I'd love to see if you've had the same thing or if you have any stories like this.
Cool. Love to.
We'll dive into some of these. All right. Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, 3 to 7.
The media's in the passenger seat. The government's driving the bus. Problem is, I don't know how the government gets people's trust back, and I don't know how the media gets the trust back as well. We've become a low-trust society. I don't know if we're as bad as the former USSR or Russia is now. Truth is whatever anybody pays it to be, and somebody wants to believe it for whatever reason somebody wants to believe it.
Watch live or later on the John Curley Show's YouTube channel.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. You know that saying, save it for a rainy day? Don't do that when it comes to replacing your roof. The first fall storms are just around the corner, and contractor schedules are filling up fast. If a new roof has been on your to-do list, don't risk another wet fall and winter. Call Valentine Roofing now. With Valentine's priority scheduling, your new roof project can get started in as little as 3 weeks. In about an hour, you'll get a fair estimate with honest, upfront pricing before the seasonal demand picks up. Plus, every project includes the Valentine experience, which is seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. I use Valentine, and thousands of homeowners across the Puget Sound trust Valentine Roofing as well to protect what matters most. With approved financing, there's no money down, and you won't pay until your roof project is complete. So don't wait for that first leak. Call 206 Roofing today to get started within 3 weeks. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
My name is Anne. I live in the Bay Area, and I'm 68 years old. I helped my mom navigate Medicare. That was a nightmare I hope never, ever to have to go through again. It was awful for her. It was awful for me, and I just knew I never wanted to go through that. I knew that there were choices and that there were balances to be made and that it could be totally impenetrable. Chapter basically does the work for you. When you're turning 65, when you're looking at going on Medicare, they will look at all the options for you, give you advice as to what's best. One plan might be better for this, one plan might be better for that. I didn't have to do that calculation. They do the research and you don't have to pay for it. We gave a person the information, a person got back to us. You don't have to make yourself crazy.
To learn more about how you can get free personalized Medicare advice, visit chapter.com today.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Tune in to elevate your wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn. With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, my family's been committed to doing what's right. At Wilcox Family Farms, that means caring for our hens with healthy pasture environments and a diet of organic grains and flax seeds. It's how we produce eggs that are wholesome, flavorful, and good for you. Next time you're at an egg case in your local store, we hope you feel good about choosing Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Take me out to big trees, take me to see the leaves. Privacy screens and evergreens, you already know they have thousands of trees.
Big Trees for tree sales and transplants. Find Big Trees in Snohomish or bigtreesupply.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Washington is joining the feds in suing Amazon, accusing the company of secretly inflating ad prices on its platform for years. The Federal Trade Commission in 22 states alleged the company tacked hidden fees onto ads while telling businesses they were getting a fair deal. Internal memos show even Amazon employees called the practice wrong. Amazon says the lawsuit misreads how its ads actually work. A Bellingham woman is headed to federal prison for scheming to kidnap her 4-year-old son and flee to Panama.
32-year-old Talisa Manuela Munoz was sentenced in Seattle to 10 months behind bars. Prosecutors say she used a fake birth certificate to get the boy a passport, and then they secretly flew out of Seattle last September. She was arrested in Panama and extradited back to the United States. The child has been reunited with his father.
KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi reporting. Seahawks are not waiting on the court to decide Terrion Arnold's future. GM John Schneider signing the former first-round cornerback despite 8 felony charges. He says Arnold's character does not fit with the allegations.
This is a long-term play. This isn't like, let's see how quickly we can get this done, and let's get him in the building and see how it goes.
Arnold was placed on the commissioner's exempt list after signing a 1-year deal. It means he can sit in on meetings and train, but cannot practice or play until the league allows it. Those who live and work in downtown Kent can look forward to quieter days and nights. KIRO News Radio's Tom Brock explains.
A new law is in effect the city has been working on for 14 years. It means train conductors no longer have to blow their horns unless they see a safety concern. Kent Mayor Dana Ralph talked about the change in a video posted on YouTube.
If the conductor sees something on the tracks, they will still blow their horn. But as a matter of course, that horn will not have to be activated.
And it comes after the city and state spent $6 million on safety upgrades at railroad crossings. Tom Brock, KIRO News Radio.
And time now to check real-time traffic at 2:33 with Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron, brought to you by the KIRO News Radio app. South 5 Reporter Way heading into Fife got a collision on your left shoulder. It was blocking for a minute. You've got some backup starting at State Route 18. The Valley Freeway filling in between Algona and Sumner. Tacoma to Olympia looking great this afternoon. Just a half hour. You're wide open till you get right into Olympia. North 5 is packed approaching the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Another thick backup between Mercer and the Ship Canal Bridge. Plan out about 20 minutes to get through this. South 5, you're slow from the U District in the downtown. South 405, bumper to bumper from South Bellevue through Factoria. Bellevue to South Center, a 25-minute drive. And up north, Everett to Marysville will take you 10 minutes. Text APP to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Pleasant afternoon out there. Just some high clouds with mostly sunshine and highs today topping out in the upper 70s. Right now, 74 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. I saw this article. This was at Como. They had this piece about, according to the Better Business Bureau, there have been 150 incidents in Washington of people claiming that salespeople deliberately misled them and tricked them into signing a contract or handing over money, resulting in nearly $1 million in losses over the last 2 years, according to Como News. Which sounds like a lot, but when you think about like how much online fraud is constantly happening, I'm actually surprised the number isn't higher.
Okay, because the number is shocking. But I guess
I mean, $1 million bucks. Like when you think about like how many spam calls people get.
Yeah.
And thank the Lord that the phone tells you that like spam. What
spam
likely.
Is
it spam likely?
Spam likely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get 8 a day.
So you just ignore those.
Yeah.
But if you follow through on those.
Or you let them know there's a fish on the line if you answer one.
Oh, man.
And just get that recording. Oh, you red flags popping everywhere.
All you have to do is answer it once, and then you go on some list that says like likely to answer.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's all they need. It's a tiny little doorway.
Sucker.
It's like inviting a vampire into your house. Then they've got you.
Potential spam, scam likely.
Potential spam, scam likely. That's what it is.
Everywhere. All over them.
Question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you get
Sure,
a lot
I'll sign. Where you want me to sign?
Yeah. I got a really cool thing I need to tell you about. Do you get a lot of door-to-door salespeople at your house? It's kind of an older thing that used to be much more common. You don't see it a ton anymore.
Door-to-door salesman, yeah, we do. We and oftentimes for us, I'm not sure which one you said you had one specifically. One specific industry.
I get one and one only.
Okay,
but I get multiple for the same industry. But go ahead.
Okay, it's either for us tree trimming services. We live in a community with a lot of big old trees.
Okay,
get a lot of those. We also get pest treatment facilities.
Bingo.
We're working in your neighborhood.
Bingo.
Right, that's the one. We're
Are
working
they on
in your
hoverboards?
neighborhood. Yes.
Okay, here's my question.
Yes.
Who in the pest treatment industry decided unanimously? There's like a secret cabal where they all meet up. I'm convinced that they're actually all the same company.
Okay.
They just like go around with different names because they all look exactly the same. Their uniforms are like very, very similar.
Sure.
They're all on hoverboards. And when I say hoverboards, I mean those two-wheeled boards.
The roller inertia driven, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just see these little, and they're always like clearly young, back from college guys.
Yeah, early 20s, or late 20s, I should say, mid to late 20s, right?
Yeah,
even maybe younger.
Young. I mean, I can't really tell. They always seem young, very young to me. And they're always on hoverboards. They come up to the door and they say like, "Hey, we just want to." It's always at dinner time. "Hey, we're just stopping by because we're working on your neighbor's house." And then they give me a name that I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
And they just assume that I don't know my neighbors, but I do.
Yeah.
So they always give me a name I've never heard. Working on stuff up their street, and I'm like, And then they say, and right now we got a deal. We can chase your spiders away. You probably get a bad spider. And he's looking at my house, and he's kind of eyeballing it. And I'm like, there's just no way that this is not a coordinated they're all the exact same.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
It's a target-rich environment. Homeowners of a certain era home. They get demographic information about who homeowners are.
My house is 5 years old.
Uh-huh.
I mean, my neighbor.
Well, it's probably time for you to take a look and make sure that no carpenter ants are getting in and
from
doing
year
some damage.
one. They've been like, spider season's really bad. I can already see we got some brown spiders jumping around your house here. I can take care of that for you because we're doing your neighbor's house. Bill McGinty up the hill, and I'm like, I don't know Bill McGinty.
Old man McGinty. Come on, this was originally his family farm.
He told me that I should stop by
here. He said, go see Mr.
What's your name?
Skorheim. Is that it?
He said, go talk to Mr. Skorheim. He's got a ton of brown spiders. It's just so weird. And what's with the hoverboards?
Well, they cover a lot of ground. Where we didn't get them was when we had our Queen Anne home. Because it was all stairs and it was all hills.
Well,
and
also,
they didn't want to invest the physical effort.
Also, there's a ton of renters around there. I bet you they're not, no renters are paying for that service.
That's true.
I bet you a good handful of your neighbors would be like apartment buildings and stuff. Or was
we were homes.
You were in the neighborhood.
Western slope of Queen Anne, older homes, turn of the century homes.
Yeah, you're right.
But it was all hills.
But you know what?
We didn't get trick-or-treaters. We didn't get solicitors.
But you lived there a long time ago. They didn't have
20
hoverboards.
years ago. That's true, huh? It's true. Snowboards can't come upstairs. I had 17 stairs from the sidewalk to my front door.
That's why you didn't.
Yeah, I loved it.
I mean, statistically, they're like a 1 in 100 chance they're actually going to get that business. You think they're going to walk 17 steps?
Hell no.
I don't think so.
They didn't. If they only knew that I had full-size candy bars and needed pest control, I was a gold mine.
They didn't
an
know.
Untapped gold mine.
You're literally sitting up there. You were renting out your basement to a brown spider. You wanted to get rid of.
It's so funny you say that because I think I took out the biggest spider I've ever seen in my life.
Recently?
Last night.
Really?
I get a text from my wife.
Always.
Because, well, first off, it's
why can't women kill a spider? What's the deal?
Well, she first off, my wife has this thing where I don't kill spiders. I release them back into the wild.
You do?
I do.
I teach them a lesson.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Continue.
Hang your dead carcasses above the door in the front. That's what the guy said. I see you got a brown spider problem. You notice they're all dead and decapitated?
Yeah.
They're the one with the problem, not me.
It's not my problem.
This thing wouldn't fit. My wife puts a pint glass over a spider, an empty pint glass, and a little cone of, and if I come home from work and I see, okay, there's a upside down pint glass along the edge of the wall.
Then you got a job to do.
Stairs. I got a job. I got to go find a piece of cardboard, slide it under, carry him outside, wave him off into his freedom, and is pointing toward the neighbor's house.
Just telling you, like, don't come back here, buddy.
Don't come back here, buddy. But I don't do that.
What do you do?
I squash the crap out of these puppies.
I love it.
I do, man. I teach them a lesson.
Does your wife think that you saved them?
No, and I hope.
I
should be safe, but me, I'm an idiot.
She's thinking that you're being humane.
Yes. I really see.
But you can't. You want to know why? Because you understand something that your wife doesn't and that my wife doesn't.
They found their way in last time.
They're going to get back in the house.
Right. They're coming back. What do you think? Just because I give them a stern talking to?
Yes.
And go out and make something of yourself, young man? Get out there. The world's waiting for you, full of opportunities.
This isn't life for you, my friend. Scaring women in the house.
This thing wouldn't fit under a pint glass. That's how big this sucker was.
I wish you would have taken a picture.
Oh, I should have taken a picture.
Because it is spider season. I'm getting a lot of them too. I could actually use a pest control guy.
Oh, the irony. But the one I killed last night.
But if he comes up on a hoverboard, I'm just not doing it.
Spider. I'm hanging his license plate in my garage as a trophy. That's how big this one was last night.
The spider?
Yeah, he was big. I'm like, whoa.
I thought you meant the hoverboard.
No.
That you're taking hoverboards?
No.
That's crazy. In the future, take pictures.
Okay, I will.
And we can share them with the audience.
Yeah.
Because it's that's fun.
Well, Case, I have taken pictures in the past. I lay a $1 bill down next to him for scale.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Have scale.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Angelina Jolie, Bone Collector.
Yep.
That's where I learned that.
That's right.
Just your instinct.
God, that was a good movie.
It was a good movie. Denzel, he's just the best.
Mm-hmm.
She's great too, but Denzel's really great in that. If you guys have any spider stories, hit us up. 888-973-5476.
Because Jake's been turned everybody away.
My house has been blacklisted. I don't know why. I got crazy spiders now. All right, last call next. We got your text messages, lots of stuff to get to. Stick around. We're right back.
Former Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes gives his first interview since he was forced to resign in the wake of the Bite of Seattle shooting, exclusively on the G and Ursula Show.
Did she give you any specific reasons?
No. When I went into the meeting, it was to listen, and what I heard was that I was going to be asked to resign and that a subsequent meeting was going to be held the following day, and then I turned things over to my attorney.
See the full conversation on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Did you see what Olympia is calling their latest new tax?
The millionaire's tax? Yep.
You know, it's really an income tax.
So what's the difference?
A millionaire's tax doesn't sound like it applies to you, but it does. Olympia created the income tax and refused to limit it. They left the door open to tax everyone, including you.
So what do we do?
Vote yes on Initiative 645. It repeals the income tax completely, so Olympia can't expand it and get into your paycheck.
Wait, we're repealing an income tax?
Yes, we're repealing an income tax.
And we vote yes to repeal it?
Yes. Vote yes to repeal the income tax.
Okay. Vote yes to repeal the income tax.
Well, see, they picked that name on purpose. Tell your friends vote yes on Initiative 645. Let's repeal the income tax. Visit voteyes645.com for more information. Paid for by Vote Yes, Repeal the Income Tax. Top 5 contributors, BIAW Member Services Corp., Peter and Liz Moorkill, Catalan Solutions, Inc., Steve Gordon.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill. But those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Right now, save $50 on any AC service at Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Honest pricing, guaranteed work, 16 family-owned locations, and no appointment needed. Stay cool this summer. Bucky's.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about baseball. It's game day. The stadium roof is open. Our club's putting up a fight. They're cold brews in hand. But outside, the police are getting ready to spot fans trying to steal their home base. Maybe the night threw you a curveball, an officer made an error, or perhaps the bases weren't the only thing loaded. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know it's not 3 strikes, it's 1 strike, and you're facing the Grand Slammer. 1-800-DUI-AWAY is here to help, even if we have to go into overtime. So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Or go to 1-800-DUIAWAY.com to set up your free private consultation. When you're on defense, it's full count, bottom of the 9th. You want your closing pitcher on the mound. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
At Carrier, we know that a comfortable home is a happy one. Whether it's with innovative breakthroughs in heating and cooling efficiency, or with different ways to control your home's temperature and air quality, we're always imagining new ways to make your home totally comfortable.
Turn to the experts and let your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer improve your home's comfort and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find an expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Our founders believed that freedom wasn't just a word, it was a way of life. The freedom to move forward, the freedom to pursue what matters most, the freedom to live fully. But aging has a way of taking those freedoms away. That's why there's Longevity Medical Clinic. John Curley here. My best move was becoming a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic years ago, and second best move, getting my wife Nicole to join me this year. Stop guessing and start working with a doctor who knows your goals and get personalized care designed around you, not the average patient. Discover what's holding you back and what can help you thrive with longevity. Aging is natural, but some of the effects are undesirable, and you don't want to have to just accept it. So this year, as we celebrate 250 years of freedom, ask yourself a simple question. Are you living with the freedom you deserve? Get real answers about your health and get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
Step into Seahawks game day at the Pro Shop, where the roar of the 12s begins. And official Seahawks gear is always within reach.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
This is the Pro Shop. Visit the official store of the Seattle Seahawks, located at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Have you been putting off remodeling your kitchen because of the stress, mess, and cost? Stop waiting. Heritage Homecraft makes it so easy and affordable to update your kitchen. Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. We're teaming up with KIRO Newsradio to give you a chance to win the Fall Kitchen Facelift. It's your chance to win $5,000 towards your kitchen refacing project, plus a $500 Visa gift card for new kitchen gadgets. For full contest rules and to enter, visit mynorthwest.com/win.
All right, welcome back to the show. Last call, last chance to read your text messages about all the fun stuff we talked about today. You want to fire away, Spike, on this?
You betcha, buddy.
Start us off.
On the bustling lane on Denny Way, we spoke to Jason Rance earlier. 206 says, will Katie invoke a congestion fee in downtown Seattle?
Interesting. Could be a way to make
How about the one that happened in New York City?
A little extra dough. What happened in New York City? I remember that.
Remember they imposed a congestion fee. At certain hours of the day, there was a set fee for cars that wanted to come into Manhattan.
Was it Hochul who did that?
It was the mayor of New York. It would have been Hochul's the governor of New York.
So whoever was the previous mayor from Mondani?
Eric Davis?
Eric.
Is that his name? Right?
Something, yeah.
Guy before Mondani.
Interesting. Did former Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes challenge Sheriff Keith Swank to a fight? Former Chief Sean Barnes was on with G and Ursula earlier. Ursula asked him about this. He claimed no, it did not happen. 559 says, dude's got anger management issues. No doubt in my mind that he asked somebody to relay that message.
This story gives me I got issues with so many elements, every element of this issue. Did he maybe say to the new acting police chief
Sales,
boy, I'd like to get in a room with that guy. Hey, he said I'd like to get in a room with you, and then Spike goes, well, he said he's telling me to fight. That's one of those. That's like they're playing telephone. Bobby in Tacoma says Swank is a liar. You people are ridiculous.
Bobby, we're just having fun. We're talking. Fun. It's fun. Yeah. On the beer heist, Joey says, drink all the beer in 18 hours and 44 minutes and return the empty cans. Pabst didn't say return the truck with the cans full. They just want the... Do they just want the truck? They probably just want the truck.
I think they want the story. I'm really...
They love this story.
My cynical mind.
Yeah. There was a
truck full of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Was stolen. 40,000 pounds.
40,000 pounds of PBR. 425 says, sounds like Bandit and the Snowman are still working. Eastbound and down.
Doug in Mount Vernon says, affordability crisis. People are stealing PBR.
This is desperate times. These are
funny.
desperate measures. On Aaron Donald coming out of retirement, Kurt from Tacoma says, yeah, Donald can come back, but in about 4 games, he's going to wish for retirement again. It's a rough game.
Tell you what, he's getting paid. Did you see his contract? I think it's $20 million, but with incentives, it's $30.
Yeah, with limited, they're saying limited use.
And that's
situational limited use.
Yeah. I mean, $30 million, you're getting paid basically $2 million a game just to come back in and get a second chance to play some. Think about how many times Tom Brady came out of retirement. Probably easier for a quarterback than it is for somebody in, Aaron's position.
He just gets abused. That body gets abused.
Yeah. On Bellevue Square Mall's survival, 425 says Bellevue has made it because it has supreme security. That's not that. That's a great point, too.
That is a great point. I didn't even consider. He's right.
Drive around Bellevue and drive around Seattle and see where you feel safer walking around at night.
By the way, I didn't know at the time, and I apologize. Did a little research. The Bellevue collection is Bellevue Square.
Yeah.
It's
all the properties that
it's almost all of downtown Bellevue.
Yeah.
Or the retail corridor of Bellevue. It falls under Belltown Square. That family does not, you're right, they do not need the money.
Yeah, interesting.
And legacy may very well be a factor in what they decide to do in the future. 206 says Bellevue Square also offers free parking.
It's true.
By the way, the sale is going to include 12,500 parking spaces. Bellevue Square, Bellevue Place, Lincoln Square North, Lincoln Square South are all encompassed, are part of the Bellevue Collective.
Can you imagine it's a new owner? It's like honestly, it's the same type of deal as the impact of a Seahawks team being purchased.
Yeah, it really is. You want to become the guy who controls all of retail downtown Bellevue.
This is an unbelievable opportunity for somebody. But if they don't have the same mindset that Freeman has, I imagine they're going to be very, very specific in who they talk to about this.
I think you're right, and I hope that they are.
Brian,
1,100 hotel rooms.
It's pretty good. Should Seattle teachers be able to afford to live in Seattle? Brian in Olympia says, so people should be paid enough to live in the neighborhood where they work. Cashier at a gas station in Bellevue should make $200K? It's from Brian.
Yeah, Stacy Gitcarver says teachers should really live relatively close to the school because they need to go in during off hours when school is not in session or on break, and sometimes weekends and evenings.
Greg from Salties, if you want to waste valuable time during your day sitting in a car trudging back and forth to work, don't expect everyone else to. I'd like to live close to where I work. That's from Greg. Very interesting.
Listen, Gig Harbor, teachers in Washington State are number 4 in the country in pay. These teachers and their unions hold students' learning hostage every time they strike. They should try living in the real world where non-government employees do.
Stephen, the 425, how much money would you want to be putting up with 20 children each and every day that you are working? It's a task I don't think I'd ever want to consider at $125,000 a year. Well, Steve, you'd be underpaid if you were, because they're making about $142, and they're also not teaching 20 at a time. I think the average ratio is 17 to 1. They also work about 180 days a year, and they have summers off. These are all benefits. Plus, I don't know that you like kids, but I assume that most of these teachers enjoy teaching kids.
At least when they start.
At least when they start. Some kids, at least.
On door-to-door salesman, Doug in Mount Vernon says, pest treatment. How to get rid of unsolicited salespeople. I sprayed for you people, and here you are. What?
I should get one of those big fake spiders and just hang it over my door and just wait.
Lower it.
And then as soon as they come, I just drop it and see if they run. I'm sure somebody has done that already. On President Trump wanting to build more data centers, 206 says, you guys are missing the whole point. Trump owns a ton of stock in data centers. 206 has the insight, I guess, on this.
Fernando in Seattle says, Texas, one of the most ruby red states, put a moratorium on data centers.
Listen, Fernando, they don't get it right all the time. Everybody makes mistakes, and I think you're right to highlight that.
We'll be back tomorrow to make more. Yeah.
We'll be back Speaking of, we will see you back here tomorrow. John Curley's coming up next. Great start to the week, guys. Super happy with how it went. We hope you enjoyed it as well. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Big week. It's going to be tons of fun. Stick around. We'll see you tomorrow.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, 3 to 7.
The media's in the passenger seat. The government's driving the bus. Problem is, I don't know how the government gets people's trust back, and I don't know how the media gets the trust back as well. We've become a low-trust society. I don't know if we're as bad as the former USSR or Russia is now. Truth is whatever anybody pays it to be, and somebody wants to believe it for whatever reason somebody wants to believe it.
Watch live or later on the John Curley Show's YouTube channel.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself and Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 Meguiar's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Holy smokes! The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 31st, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years for new Xfinity customers. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
The new SR 167 Expressway is opening soon.
Sweet.
It'll be the shortcut between I-5 and SR 509 near Fife.
A shortcut?
Yep, 2 miles of open expressway. Drivers can take it to avoid congestion on other roads, and freight trucks can take it directly to the Port of Tacoma. When tolling begins this winter, drivers with a good-to-go pass will pay $1.
Oh, $1?
That's right.